Fast am I. Good evening. Welcome to the Manx Radio Motorsport coverage of the Blackford Financial Services Pre-TT Classic Road Races. We're in the south of the Isle of Man on the Motor Isle Billown Course, 4.25 miles of racing tarmac and the first action of the 2025 Manx Road Racing season. We're ready to turn the clocks back to yesteryear for those nostalgic sights and smells. Is the weather ready? Well, after nearly 3 months of dry and warmth, the last significant rainfall fell on Saturday the 26th of April. The forecast, and indeed the reality now, is not great. This is from the Ronaldsway Met Office. Rain will soon develop this evening. Well, it has. It will turn persistent and heavy for a time before becoming more patchy overnight. Mainly moderate winds with temperatures tonight no lower than 12 Celsius. Tomorrow will then be mostly cloudy day with only a little patchy rain possible and plenty of dry conditions before heavier outbreaks of rain develop during the evening. The south to southwest winds will increase fresh to strong later. And the maximum temperature tomorrow is 16 Celsius. And the outlook, sunny intervals and isolated showers on Sunday, but breezy with strong westerly winds, and then remaining unsettled through next week. Well, I will predict it now. The most used phrase from island residents to our welcome visitors will be, "You should have been here last week," or the week before, or the week before that, or something similar. Well, the Manx Radio Motorsport team are ready, and we have Rob Pritchard at Cross Four Ways, and Chris Kinley is at the Southern 100 Clubhouse and surrounds. And well, I'm Tim Glover, and I'm the one that's inside, which I'm very blessed to be with the weather has really closed in the last couple of hours. Felt a few spots of rain around 4:45, 5 o'clock, and it's just moved in, and roads are very wet now here at the start-finish line. We've got the course inspection cars ready to go out to check everything around. The Motor Isle Billown Course is in order. Let's give you the schedule then for this evening, as the marshals resplendently on their new BMW outfits for TT 2025, and down here at the Blackford Financial Services Pre-TT Classic Road Race meeting. So the roads are now closed. They closed at 6 o'clock and are due to reopen no later than 9:40 p.m. We will then have the all-newcomers familiarisation of the circuit. That's from 6:15 until 6:25. Then 6:26 to 6:38, it'll be the Race 1 machinery out, the singles. Then at 6:48 until 7 o'clock, it will be the 1,100cc classic bikes. Then we have from 7:18 until 7:30 the junior superbikes and 400cc post classic bikes. 7:40 to 7:52 it's the senior classic bikes. 2 minutes past 8 until 14 minutes past 8 it'll be the lightweight classic and the 125 post classic bikes out on the course here. Then it's the junior classic from 8:24 until 8:36. The senior superbikes, 8:46 to 8:58, and then the sidecar classics are out at 9:05 until 9:20. But of course, we do have a spanner in the works in that the weather has come in, and the roads around the Motor Isle Billown Course will be not just wet, but it's like when we've had a prolonged dry spell on the Isle of Man, the roads, when it does rain again, can be a little bit greasy. And certainly the production team here with me have noted a few of the riders have already posted, and that's the decision they're going to be making, that they've decided they're not going to go out this evening. They've looked at the weather forecast and seen that tomorrow's practice anyway in the afternoon looks dryish, but the evening with the racing could well be could well be wet again by the sound of the forecast. But Luke Blevins, we've seen on his social media, making the decision not to ride tonight. Hopefully get some dry laps in tomorrow. A lot to be lost, not a lot to be gained. Good luck to all. So he has decided to sit the evening out, and I'm sure he won't be on his own. Well, it's only a couple of, one person with a brolly at the moment on the stand, and there's no the food truck there, there's nobody in the queue there, and there's just a small handful of spectators here. The marshals, of course, are all bibbed up and wrapped up. They'll have been hunting for their waterproofs in the last few days after seeing that the weather was all set to change. The course inspection cars are still here waiting to get the off. Mill Crease sponsored vehicles, and lots of discussions taking place. The marshals on their new BMW machinery, I can see the travelling marshals are all still there as well. Well, let's check on conditions around the Motor Isle Billown Course, and let's go out to Cross Four Ways, and hopefully he has found his waterproofs, and he's got a big golf brolly up there. Rob Pritchard, I would say good evening, but it isn't, is it? Let's be honest.
Indeed. Well, I will say good evening to everyone listening around the Motor Isle Billown Course here on the Isle of Man and further afield. Welcome, as Tim has already mentioned, to the 2025 Pre-TT Classic Road Races, the start of this year's Manx Road Racing season. But we do say the start, but let's get to the subject at hand, shall we? The weather does not look like it's going to be playing ball just at the moment. Almost prophetically, when I arrived here at Cross Four Ways to start getting everything prepared, that's when the rain started. That told me something in my mind, that we're not going to have it easy, particularly today as well. As you mentioned, with the forecast so far, there may be a little bit more promise for the practice session tomorrow, but I'm sure plenty of decisions having to be made behind the scenes on what is going to take place this evening. Looking across from me, I always look to my trusty weather vane on South Barrule in the distance, right across from where my scaffolding is, and it has just disappeared into the cloud in the distance. Not only will the wet weather play a big part, you would imagine, this evening as well, but of course with the cloud cover and the low cloud cover that we're seeing in the region as well, light might become a factor that the organisers have to take into account should this session, shall I say, take place this evening. Elsewhere, let's take a look at some more happy side of things, I guess, as well. It's 37 years is a number that I've been picking up as we go into tonight's coverage. 37 years since Graham Godward took the first checkered flag in this meeting on his 350 Air Mackie in 1988. 37 years since Onken man Mike Kane dominated a Billown on his 250. And 37 years since that MV Augusta sidecar, ridden by Mark Kay and Richard Batterson, won the first three-wheeled race at this meeting. And nearly 4 decades on, it's great to see that classic racing here at Billown and on the Isle of Man is still very much alive and well. And looking through the likes of the entries, for example, that further justifies that matter as well. In the sidecar class, we've actually seen an uplift from what we saw last year. There were 12 sidecar entries in 2024. Speaking to the Southern 100 Club this week with sidecar entries down last year, they pointed to the fact that there were a number of continental meetings also taking place around the same time. That might have contributed to the slightly lower numbers. A very slight lift this year, 15 this year in the three-wheeled classes, which is great to see. And also amongst, I should say, the sidecar competitors, we have those from overseas as well. We have competitors and indeed newcomers from the likes of Austria, Belgium, Netherlands and the Czech Republic, to name just a few. Entries in general, when you incorporate the solo classes as well, they are on par with previous years, which is good to see. A nice steady flow of people getting involved in the classic racing here at Billown. Such an interesting craft, isn't it, compared to the modern machinery that we see these days. And looking at a couple of individuals there, great to see back on the entry list here is the Pre-TT's record winner. Mike Hose was absent from last year's meeting. Great to see his name back on the entry list. And on the sidecars, well, he may have packed it in on the Snaefell Mountain course, but Dave Molyneux on the number one machine with Dan Sale, that might be one to keep an eye out for after hanging up his leathers from a TT sense, as it were. And of course, here, just on a wider note for the Billown Course, it is a very important year indeed, because in July, from the 7th to the 10th of July to be precise, the Southern 100 Road Races will be celebrating their 75th anniversary this year. A fantastic milestone for racing here in the south of the island. Also, behind the scenes, I guess, if you'd like to call it that, back in February, if you missed the news as well, a little bit of a change, because the Southern 100 Club took back the running of the event from ACU Events Limited that had been overseeing matters over the last few years as well. When I spoke to the Southern 100 Club this week, they said that from the outside particularly, maybe for spectators and whatnot watching in, it won't look like there's too much difference, but a couple of things here and there may have just changed in the background, and no doubt as well in the Southern 100 Club's hands, highly experienced and highly professional group of people to be running racing here at Billown. Also, just finally on the entry list as well, here's a couple more stats for you. 10 previous champions here this year across the classes, including 14 newcomers as well. So more fresh faces here at Billown this weekend. But all those stats, I suppose, don't mean too much at the moment. Let's look back to the principal issue here at hand. The weather looking pretty drab, as it were, here. We can only hope that it holds off to a certain extent, that we do see some action out on the course over the next 3 days, and particularly allow these riders and teams chance just to get reacquainted with those machines, get everything on song for the schedule that is to come. All of that speculation on my end, though. We'll have to see how it pans out. So here from a rather moist cross four ways, I'll hand back to you, Tim.
Thank you very much indeed, Rob Pritchard. And the first year I commentated on the Blackford's pre-TT Classic was 2013, and it was similar conditions, a pretty wet meeting all the way through. And there was one man that won several races that year, and that was Chris Palmer. Dominated the meeting, went really well on the damp roads around Billown. And, well, we're going to have a repeat of that, not with Chris winning, but is somebody going to take the bull by the horns? Mike Hose, as Rob alluded to, the most successful rider at this meeting. He is back. And I've spoken to him. He's not had the best of run-ins here, because, as he put it, he had a little lie down at Anglesey at the circuit there, and he showed me his knee, which was really, really swollen. And we referred him to get some physio from Kath Davies, and all credit to her. The knee is a lot better now, and also he's strapped up his shoulder. He's got a lot more movement in the shoulder, and he was in his leathers this afternoon at around about 3:30 it would have been, and he said he wasn't getting out of them because he managed to get into the leathers for the first time since that spill. So great to see Mike Hose back. And, well, we'll see if Dave Molyneux and Dan Sale are going to be competing in the sidecars as well. And will they be out this evening? Well, we'll wait and see on that. But let's find out, as the course inspection cars left around about 5 minutes or so ago here on the Castletown bypass. Let's find out what's happening down at the Southern 100 Clubhouse and the surrounds. And there for us, and a very good evening, Chris Kinley.
Yes, good evening to you, Tim, and good evening to Rob out there across four ways, and good evening to you, dear listener, wherever you may be around the world, because that's what it is, around the world. People listening here on Manx Radio Motorsport. Down here, it's a bit wet underfoot. It's still very hard underfoot. It's not major rain as of yet. It's just a wee bit of mizzle, but it's made the track wet, and this will make the decision for the riders to either run wets or dries. It's going to have to be wets now. There's no mucking around with this. There's stood by a machine now, number 32 in the superbike class. He's just changing his bike, come out with dries on. And we've just been talking tyres with the rider liaison officer here, who's been looking after all the newcomers there, Chris Palmer. You've just been, I don't know, bigged up by Mr. Tim Glover there, saying back to 2013 when you were involved in all those wins in the wet, and we're just talking about wet here now. Just explain to the listener. Good evening, by the way, Chris.
Good evening. Yeah.
How are you, mate? Okay?
Yeah, I'm good. It's a little bit moist, but I'm all right.
Let's talk about that time, then wins back in 2013 on Rob Bruce. We're talking about his 250. I mean, you love it, the wet run. Explain about the wet weather tyres, especially on the older classic bikes. I mean, the modern stuff, yeah, we all know about them, but the older classic, you think to yourself, you know, they're only going to have one tyre, but these wet tyres on these classics are awesome. Go on.
Well, I was just going to say, the actual genuine classic bikes aren't allowed to use wets. They just use the tyres. They run them wet or dry. They are treaded, but they're not like mega treaded, but they're really soft compound, so they're not allowed tyre warmers on the classics, which people maybe don't know. So when you go out, they're a really, really soft compound and they heat up really quickly and they're really grippy tyres, wet or dry, which is nice. But the more modern bikes, the 400s and the bigger bikes, they run genuine wet tyres, really deep treads, really soft compound. If it dries up, obviously they destroy themselves really quickly, but while it's wet and there's water to be dispersed, they work really, really well.
How's it been with the newcomers for this year? What sort of questions have they been asking you? I mean, I probably ask you this question every year, but it's nice we always have new listeners. So just explain what thought processes they have and they're putting to you.
Yeah, it's quite difficult sometimes with the classic guys. Some of them only have 5-speed gearboxes, so when I talk what gear to be in at what corner, I've got to be careful who I'm talking to and what I tell them. Some are 6-speed, some are 5-speed, some are even 4-speed, the older ones. But I just basically tell them what line to be on. I've got certain markers on the road that I used to use, so I always say to them, if you're on the correct line, it doesn't matter how fast you are, how slow you are. When you speed up, you're not going to have to start changing your line. You're on the correct line from the word go. And if some faster riders want to come past you, you've just got to let them find the way past, basically.
Stick on your line, yeah?
That's exactly right. And if you're on the right line to start with, all you need to do then is just build your speed up. You don't need to start then thinking about changing line.
What do you think is going through their mind there now? All the riders here have been sat in the sunshine. They've been here for 3 or 4 days, and then this happens, Chris. We've all been here before. I mean, I've been here before, and you've been here before, and it's been torrents of water running across the road. And people have been saying on social media, "Oh, do they still run in the rain, Dan?" Yeah, of course they do. As long as it's not biblical, they'll run, won't they?
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's not the wet that's the problem. Quite often, it was the wind in the past that was the issue, the side wind. But yeah, no, you know, wet or dry, it doesn't really matter. You just ride accordingly. Like you said, you select the right tyres for bikes that are allowed wets, and the classic bikes are pretty good rain tyres anyway, so yeah, you just ride accordingly.
What would you do? What would your plan be then for this weekend if you were riding? Chris Palmer was here as a newcomer on the first night. What would be your thought processes?
As a newcomer, you just need to learn the track and learn to be safe and learn your braking points. Because it is such a fast track, if you brake too late, you're in a lot of trouble. If you brake a bit earlier, then build it up gently and build it up slowly, but you don't get that much time, you don't get that many laps in practice, so you can't just mess around either. You've got to sort of knuckle down and you know, I always advise them to do as many laps as they can in more like road bikes, vans, cars, whatever, just to get accustomed to what's next, and with a few blind corners and things like that, always important to know what's round the next corner and that sort of thing. So yeah, just build it up slowly. But the experienced lads, this won't bother them at all. You know, they've been here before, and we know how grippy the track is in the wet. It's pretty good usually. So yeah, just crack on.
Any new tarmac out there for the guys to look out for?
Yeah, I've had quite a bit of tarmacking done in patches. There's a couple of strips going into Ballabeg Hairpin. There's a strip coming out of it. There's quite a big patch offline on the, sort of the left-hander that drops down towards Ballawhetstone. We had quite a big patch done there. There's quite a few patches all round, to be honest. The bridge before you go into Joey's, all that's been patched on the top as well. So yeah, just bits to watch out for. But yeah, it should be good.
Bet you're relishing the fact you're not out there tonight, or are you?
Yeah, do you know, people always say to me, "Oh, I bet you wish you were out there." You know, wet or dry, I'm done. I'm quite happy to walk away from it all. I'm happy to help people, you know, and advise them and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, I don't need to be out there.
Well, Chris, I'll let you enjoy. You'll be watching over these newcomers like they're your babies.
Oh, I know. I try to look after them, yeah. It's always nice to see them do well as well, you know. So, yeah, no, it's good.
Thanks for your time, Chris. Let you crack on. There's Chris Palmer then, Tim. Just a feel from down here. Now, the gate isn't open as of yet. I'm going to try and just peel back all the layers just to see if the newcomers are coming out yet. It's 20 past 6 now, and I'm not sure if the newcomers have actually left. Not the newcomers, the cars have actually left the start and finish for their sighting lap, for their looking around lap, if you want to call it that. But down here, got a little bit heavy, that rain did actually, that little bit I just did there with Chris Palmer. Great to have his thoughts actually on it. But yeah, no movement as of here yet for machines down here.
Thank you very much, Chris. We've just heard from the clerk of the course that there are a couple of minute delay here. There's a flag that needs to be taken out to. There's one missing flag apparently out at one of the marshal points, so they're just making sure that's all in place. But the great thing is we're not having to read out anybody's registration number and ask them to return to their vehicle and move it. Everything was clear on the inspection lap that they've done, but just a little delay while they make sure that everybody's got all the equipment they need in order for us to get underway here. So let's just, for the listeners, just take us through the course here. We are just on the outskirts of Castletown, the Castletown bypass at the start-finish. And they will head down towards the hut, the clubhouse, where Chris Kinley is, and then towards the first big corner, which will be at Ballachagan. And it's quite a sweeping corner. It's not the slowest. The slowest is certainly at Ballabeg Hairpin, and then Cross Four Ways is also much slower, and at Castletown Corner as well. So they head down the Ballachagan, and they're a mile away from us here. They will go over that railway bridge that Chris Palmer was just referring to there, over towards Ballinnorris. And then they will head through Ballinnorris, Ballabeg Hairpin, through Ballawhetstone, Williams Corner, down the dip, and to Cross Four Ways, where Rob Pritchard is stationed, which is just shy of the 3-mile mark, and then through Church Bends, along through Great Meadow, round Stadium Corner, Castletown Corner, and back with us as the course inspection car speeds past us, having delivered that flag. Let's go back down to Chris Kinley.
Well, goodness me, we have machines on the move there now. You'll be able to, for those who are here for the first time, and I keep saying this to everybody, you know, we're always going to get new listeners and new people coming to the sport and not aware of how it works here. So where I've just been stood is basically a sheep field for most months of the year. They go in, they put the ropes up, they set the thing up, and then what happens is the bikes all come in, the team's all set up, and the machines get the okay to go, and they've been let loose from there now, and they come up the little link road which gets them up to the how should we say, an assembly area, and it's controlled, the assembly area, by yellow barriers. You can hear machines going past us now, just a veritable different sorts of machines. Little ZXR Kawasaki going by, another BSA, so all different types of machine, all different classes, with the orange number plates, another ZXR going through there, the wet tyres on that one, number 28 CBR 600, that one is an old steel frame, one of those. 107, another steel frame CBR as well. Just numbers at the moment, don't want to get the programme just a little bit too wet. So they make their way down this little link road, and they'll get to a little holding area, and then they'll be let out onto the circuit, heading up towards what they call Hedges, which is on the right hand side just before Ballachagan. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 there at the moment, and the 7th one is starting to come down there now, and they'll be taken round by the travelling marshals on them BMWs, and they'll be followed behind with the course inspections thing. Number 106 is next. Then we've got the sidecars going on. The controller down here, Dickie Gale, who's now in charge of the sidecars liaison, he's hurrying them all up. Got number 11 in the sidecars. Just give you numbers for now. Hopefully you have bought a programme. £7. It's a good read. Got all the information in there for you. Nice read, some nice stories in there too, ways you can help the club. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, 7 sidecars coming through. So what I could try and do is I'm now going to have to turn everything up because it was a little bit loud. It's only Thurkel, I can just see there. Yeah, smiling as ever. How are you? You're all right? No, do you know what? It's great to see people after 12 months. You don't see them for 12 months and then they come back again for this. Machines are now on the circuit then. Machines are on the circuit. Stand by. Ballachagan. It'll be the solos that are going first. So the solos make their way up around there. The first right-hander, and then they'll be heading down the long straight towards Iron Gate. You heard Chris Palmer saying about a few bits of tarmac that have been changed there now. I think that is nearly all the solo guys gone. Just maybe 1, 2, 3 of them left there. Just see number 11, Danny Quirk on the sidecar there. Quirk's Classics, the Vincent Specialist on the side of that. He's running Avon tyres on the front of that machine. Just clicking it into gear. Another solo, just got number 37. A little bit late there, 37. He's going straight out. So he's right at the back. And they've got a nice new sign that tells them to keep tight and to the left. So the sidecars are now dragged forward or pulled forward. Number 66 and number 56, and then 24 and 30. We'll let you pick them up in the programme. I'm just trying to keep the programme from getting wet at the moment because it will at some point. I normally have a computer screen down here, but I've decided tonight discretion is the better part of Alan. I'm not having my little iPad-y thing. Other makes of tablets are are available as number 30 goes through. Looking forward to hearing that thing on full chat going through here. So that is all the machines making and splashing the way around this 4.25 mile Motor Isle Billown circuit. It's lap one of the newcomers familiarisation. If you don't know what that's for, they have to do it. It's part of the regulations and the sign-up procedure. They have to do this lap. They have to do these laps. They have to do it, otherwise they can't start the race. Let's get over to Cross Four Ways for the first lap of the familiarisations and Rob.
Indeed, Chris, we can hear them making their way towards us. They'll be with us in hopefully just a few moments' time. But just coming back to the newcomer side of things, if you missed it before, 14 in total across the classes this year. And as Chris mentioned there as well, quite a few sidecar outfits going out as well. And there are a few newcomer outfits heading out there today. Looking at the likes of number 21, Sep Noel and Kobe De Hook are on their way out as well. We have a newcomer passenger, Indy de Koppel. He'll be a familiar name across the solo classes at the likes of the Southern 100 at the TT. But in the chair this time with Mike Cookson for this year's event of the sidecars, the number 23 outfit. We're also going to have June Christian and Julie Hardesty, the number 64 outfit, on the way through as well. Albert Kurtful coming back from Salzburg with a newcomer passenger on board in Eliza Pilz as well from Radstadt. So the Austrian pairing, they'll be making their way around the Motor Isle Billown Course. We can hear them making their way towards us. With our vantage point here, we can't see to that hill before they drop down into the dip in front of us as well. So it takes just a few moments longer, but it will be interesting what they're making of this damp Billown course today. They'll just be figuring things out, figuring the right lines to go through as well, the breaking points. As we can see, the travelling marshal making their way towards us, leading the convoy. The first of the solo machines making their way towards us with those orange bibs on as well. And at the front of that pack is Joris Vastenackels on the way through as well. There's number 65, Ian Swayo, on the way through. Number 99 is Robert Coley as well in the 350 class. The 350 class was dominated by Will Loader last year. I remember that time on that Greaves Alton as well. So that's the first trio of machines making their way through Cross Four Ways for the first time in 2025. Another of the travelling marshals making their way towards us, and the solo machines just in behind, just holding back just a little bit, getting used to things here. We have, 5 more machines coming into view in front of us. And leading that particular group is number 103. That's Thomas Bradshaw. 28, 107. Time for numbers here. 106. And also number 37 on the way through there towards the back of the pack there. So just, yes, working things out through Cross Four Ways. Now here come the sidecars, led by number 11, Danny Quirk and Sharon Reeves, winners in the second sidecar race last year. They're followed by number 21 outfit, Sep Noel, the driver there. 2 more sidecars into view as well. There's number 66. The Austrian pairing, and number 56 on the way through as well. 3 more sidecar outfits on the way through to us. Numbers 24, 64 and 30. The last of the sidecar crews making their way here through Cross Four Ways, backed up by the final travelling marshal as they start making their way and learning a little bit about what goes on up towards Church Bends, right past the meadow as well, and up to Stadium as well. Once the racing gets going as well, that's where the speed really starts to pick up. Back to you, Tim.
Thank you very much. Great to get the whole gambit of newcomers through there. Here's the travelling marshal. They need to do 2 laps. They're going pretty steadily, it has to be said. And there's number 73. That's Joris Vastenek through. Ian Sawyer is through as well. And Robert Coley, number 99 and 65 in reverse order there. The third one through was Coley, number 99. And they are well through. We're looking up more machinery very gingerly on the bridge there and coming around Castletown Corner, and you wouldn't blame them in these rather inclement conditions here. So there's just a familiarisation, so it's a lot slower than familiarisation laps we've seen here before. 103 is through there, that's Thomas Bradshaw. 28, Oliver Wilson. 107, Nick Sweet. And 106, Dave Broff is through. And Benjamin Smith, number 37. And you can see again more machinery just going over the railway bridge that leads into Castletown Corner. And these are the first of the sidecars now into view. We'll listen to them through. And I think number 30 there, Kenny Howells and Rob Kopp, they were indicating to come in, but I don't think they have the requirements. I think they've just gone out, and some will get permission just to go out and do a familiarisation lap. So that was number 30 in the sidecars there. That has gone through, but indicated quite easily, pulled over to the left-hand side of the road, put his hand up in the air just to indicate to anyone that's around that he is pulling in. So number 30, Kenny Howells and Rob Koppock. So no newcomers there. So that's obviously just a familiarisation lap through. Indeed, number 11, we can tell you, is Danny Quirk and Sharon Reeves. Again, they have no requirement to be out. They're just obviously just trying to bed something in. But 21, they are newcomers here. And that's Sepp Noel and Kobe de Hoek. And then we had number 66. 66 is Albert Krofel and Elise Pills. And then we had number 56, and that's Marvin Vermeulen with the newcomer passenger in Troy Clinker. And then we had 24, Tony Thurkel and William Morley. Again, no newcomer there for the Thirsk and Whitby riders. Very experienced they are. So they will just be wanting just to get something adjusted, or just have the experience and get out with the newcomers and lead them around. And then we had 64, and that is a newcomer outfit of Drew and Christian and Julie Hardesty. The riders there from on the Norton there from Folkingham. And then we had 30, and that was, as we said earlier, just pulling in there, Kenny Howells and Rob Koppock. So with that, about 3 minutes or so, they were going at quite a slowish pace, but you can understand that with the conditions. Let's see them round once again at Crossfall Ways with Rob Pritchard.
Yeah, we've had the first 4 machines on their way through, so the last of those alongside one of the travelling marshals was number 107, Nick Sweet. We've got 4 more machines making their way towards us. Leading that again is 103, that's Thomas Bradshaw. Number 28, Oliver Wilson. And then numbers 106 and 37 at the back of that quartet. Again, just gingerly making their way through Crossfall Ways. This is a familiarisation lap, as has been mentioned on numerous occasions as well. They'll also be figuring out the conditions a little bit as well. The officials here, the travelling marshals out there as well, they'll be well aware of what's going on. So that's the solo machines through on this second familiarisation lap. As we heard from Tim as well, there are a couple out there that aren't newcomers, but maybe just looking to bed things in and get things right. And one of those is the sidecar outfit of number 11, Danny Quirk, and Sharon Reeves have then got number 21 on the way through as well. These are a set of newcomers, as 66, 56 on the way through. 24, not a newcomer, as I mentioned, maybe just getting used to things, and also number 64 on the way through for the sidecars as well at the back of that little group, as we have a few more of the newcomers coming through there. Back to you, Tim.
Yeah, the checkered flag is being readied here as the bright headlights of the travelling marshal there on the BMW comes into view. The checkered flag is indeed being waved. So number 73 again at the head of that, and that's Loris Fesenak. And then we have Ian Soyu, number 65, and Robert Coley, number 99. They are through. And one more travelling marshal into sight. Those headlights are really starting to stand out as the light really does dip, and that is number 107, Nick Sweet, the newcomer who is through. And 2 more newcomers now. Indeed, 3 and 4 newcomers. 103 is through. Little shake of the head there from Thomas Bradshaw. Oliver Wilson, number 28, is across the line as well. 37, Benjamin Smith, and 106, Dave Brough is through too. But yeah, Thomas Bradshaw, a bit of a shake of the head to the officials here on the start and finish line. So I'm not completely convinced that he's enjoyed himself around out there. And this should be the first of the outfits leading the sidecar newcomers out. It is number 11, Danny Quirk and Sharon Reeves across the line. 66 through as well, 56 and 21. 24, Thurkel and Morley again leading some of the other units out, and then Marshall right at the back and indicating there that he's pulling in just here at the start-finish line. So that seems to be all of them round that have now completed their 2 laps, completed their familiarisation. And next now we should have what will be the first race of tomorrow evening, when we finally go racing after all the practice during the afternoon tomorrow. Just a reminder that roads close tomorrow at 12:30 until 4:30, and they will reopen for an hour and a half. That will be the end of practicing here at the Blackford Financial Services Pre-TT Classic Road Race meeting for 2025. And then in the evening, 6 o'clock, the roads will close again, and we have 4 races for you. Roads are closed until 9 o'clock tomorrow evening. First race is the MSPR singles race. That's the machinery that we're about to see out here on the Motor Isle Billown Course. Race 2 is the Foraging Vintners 1100cc classic race. Race 3 tomorrow evening is the Jeff Duke Junior Superbike race. That's over 7 laps, as is the 1100cc race. 7 laps, 6 for the singles. And then we'll have a 4-lap sidecar race sponsored by MC Locksmiths, just to finish the evening off. That race due away at 8:20. But it is going to be the singles who are out first. And certainly for the first time in my memory, we've got more 250cc single machines out than 350cc singles out. We've got Mike Hose, number 4 in the 350s, along with number 5, Paul Cassidy, number 17, Andrew Guy, 21, Will Loader, 22, Rod Graham, 69, Gary Abbott, 72, Shelley Pike, 80, Danny Pullen, and 99, Richard Coley. And then on the 250 machinery, we've got number 10, Andy Hunt, number 15, Bob Doughty, 20, Gary Hutton, 40, Barry Davidson, 49 is Martin Tranter, 57, Ewan Hamilton, 63, Angela Cragg, 70, Jeff Bates, 71, Richard Boole, 73 is the newcomer that we've seen out there tonight, and that's Joris Fassenagels. 76 is Roy Phipps, and 94 is Terence Sampson. So the singles, the next category to be out, the first class, the green-plated 250 machines. They have green plates with the numbers on, and the 251cc to 350cc bikes, they are on blue plates. So that's the way to distinguish them. And they will do 6 laps, as we were saying, to 25.5 miles when they come to racing. And, well, you've got to go a long, long, long way back to see the race and lap records. 1997 for the 250s was Bob Jackson. That was back in 1997. And the 350s, Roy Richardson holds the lap record back in 2009. I think bikes have left the holding area and are heading down towards Chris Kinley, who will now join.
Well, there's a chap next to me. I'm going to join for a pint later, actually. So he's on the bushies as well. Good on you. Thank you, sir. Nice to see you. In his shorts as well. Fair play to him, I tell you. Number 99 is, you just mentioned him there, Robert Coley on the BSA Gold Star, the Walsall rider. Just had a quick chat from him. He's just been out for his newcomers lap. How was it? He went a bit slippy, but I'm all right. A lot of heat in those tyres. We were talking before the bikes went out with Chris Palmer about the tyres and how they're going to get a lot of heat in them. And here is Barry Davison on the number 40 machine. Good to see Barry back here again. He's had a bit of an injury as Barry, but I was talking to him at the Northwest 200 and he was on pretty good form there. And his young fella, Matt, as well, he's here too. Young Matthew is riding in his own right as well under the BD Racing team. 72 just gone past us here. Shelley Pike on that 350 W3 Ducati, the Bevel Drive machine, and 22 just coming towards us as well. Rod Graham wishing he was somewhere else, probably a bit warmer than this, but I bet he's not. Rod, of course, for Nottingham on his 350 Ducati. Number 20 past us as well on another one of those Hondas. Gary Hutton for Newry, a regular on the Irish road racing scene. Of course, a few of them will be getting themselves set up for the Tandragee road races. Good to see that event back on the Irish calendar. And of course, the Armoy road races at the end of the season as well. Looking forward to that one at the end of July, isn't it? Yeah, 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 20. Hang on, well, maths is bad. 22nd, 23rd, 25th. There you go, the 25th. We're rolled to the forward there now to try and get you the sound to these machines. If you notice when you're here, if you haven't seen before, you see the little red light that's on the back of their seats. That's just obviously you could have a little bit of spray that's going to be coming up, so they'll know that there's a rider in front. Number 57 next to us here now, beautiful looking machine from Comrie. I've heard he's a bit of a keen golfer. There's Ewan Hamilton on the 250 Ducati Mark III machine, looking very, very swish it is too. Looking really, really nice and tidy. And he's actually got a new set of leathers. You can see the Scottish Solitaire on his back. Machines are now back on the circuit. So this is the MSP-R Singles Classics for 250s and 350s. They're making their way, Bultacos, Hondas, Ducatis, Mackies in there too. A green Zoltan with last year's winner Will Loader on, and a quick chat with Will before, and he said he was freezing cold. 76 leaves us there. Roy Phipps on his 250 Honda, just in the back there is 71 Richie Poole on his Ducati machine, the Balaf rider on the 250. He is away. So practice session, this is qualifying. The first machines are now on the circuit. They've been making their way down through to Ballabeg, and not far away from our man out at Cross Four Ways is Rob.
Yes, indeed, Chris. So we can hear them in the distance. So, the first qualifying session of 2025 Pre-TT Classic Road Races is underway. They'll be making their way through Ballabeg and on the twisting, turning section towards us and into our line here at Cross Four Ways as well. Interesting to hear what Tim said, that a couple of riders have chosen not to go out this evening as well. So the ones who are out here, we're not looking at a huge amount of pace in terms of dialing in, but just getting used to things and just getting those machines out and about as well. Those classic machines do need to just be put into shape a little bit in their different respective side of things as well. They want to make sure that fuel mixture is running nice and balanced as well, however they want to do it as well. They want to make sure that getting just so many different things, in fact, and you've got to treat some of these components like they're made of glass, haven't you, as well? Sometimes these classics can be a little bit fickle as well, but we can hear them making their way forward towards us. And it should be just a few moments away as it stands. But looking through some of the order list here, as Tim's mentioned, a couple of those. We've got Mike Hose back, and good to see him, the record Pre-TT Classic winner as well. The yellow and red striped flags are out here at Cross Four Ways, just warning, of course, of the dampness out on the course. And looking a little further down, I mentioned his name before actually during the newcomers familiarisation, although he wasn't out on it as well. Will Loader, what a performance he had in this particular on the 350 last year on the Green Zoltan. Looking a little further down, we saw one of the newcomers who went up before, Joris Vastenackels as well from Dwarp on the 250 Ducati as well. So it's a healthy entry here as well. Just taking a look through the respective numbers, the volume is starting to increase just that little bit more. Here come the first machines, two at the front of the order, and leading the order is number 4, Mike Hose on the Bultaco, followed by number 73, one of the newcomers, Joris Vastenackels, who we've just mentioned as well. Number 21, Will Loader. Number 17, Andrew Guy on the Drixton, the Air Mackie. Number 40 as well, Barry Davidson on the 250, the Honda. And number 57 as well, Ewan Hamilton on the 250 Ducati, the Mark III as well, the rider from Comrie. Score more machines on the way back through to us here. One of those is Andy Hunt, previous winner in the class, of course. Number 69, there's 99, one of the newcomers, Robert Coley. Number 22 is Rod Graham. Number 72, Shelley Pike. Number 94, Terence Sansom. Number 20, Gary Hutton. And number 49, Martin Tranter on the way out as well there. More machines on their way on this first qualifying lap. Taking it nice and gently, no doubt, on the way through is number 15, Bob Doughty on the Ducati as well, another of the 250 class, and a trio more on the way through onto this final section of the lap. Number 80, Danny Pullen. Number 66 on the way through, and number 71 is Richard Bull on the Ducati Mach 1, the rider from Balaf as well. So those are your first qualifying machines, if you like, on the way through Cross Four Ways. To you, Tim.
Great to hear that rumble of engines in amongst the cottages there at Cross Four Ways. And here is number 4, Mike Hose through. So he's starting his first timed lap of the 2025 Blackford Pre-TT, as is Will Loader. 17 through there. 17, didn't get the number there. That's Andrew Guy, and he hasn't registered on the screen. Barry Davidson was through, number 40. There's 57. Ewan Hamilton is the latest through. So they haven't got a time recorded because, of course, they started this first circuit further down the road at the clubhouse. And there's 5 machines into view, 1 retirement on the left-hand side by the look of it. Andy Hunt, Gary Abbott, Rod Graham, Robert Coley and Shelley Pike all through, as are Terence Sampson and Guy Hutton. But it is a machine just very slowly now making its way down to the area, and it's number 73, I think, the newcomer there, Joris Vasenak. So he looks like he was retiring. Also through, we've had Martin Tranter, number 49, 15 Bob Doughty, 80 Danny Pullen. There's number 66, Robert Noyle. 71 is through now, that's Richard Boole. And it was 73, it was Joris Vasenak that is the retirement. Just had that confirmed in the headphones. So we've got the green flag up at the top there of School Hill Rise as we look to the Marshall. And we've got, of course, all these barriers up that appeared last year, and still look an unusual sight if you've been coming to the Motor Isle Billown Course for some time, but we will get used to them. Already got the grid markers out there. There's another machine now into view, and that is number 70, Jeff Bates. So he is through. And, well, we'll give Rob, I think, plenty of time to pick them up. Its timings are going to be a little bit slower this evening. It is a qualifying session, so we're not too a bit more hit and miss on our coverage with this. But there's another retirement just before we hand it to Rob, and that is number 76 retiring. That is Roy Phipps. Let's go to Rob at Cross Four Ways.
First 4 machines on the way through. Number 40, Barry Davidson on the first qualifying lap, as is number 17, Andrew Guy as well. 2 machines that we picked up just before you joined us as well. Number 4, Mike Hose at the front of the order, as well as number 21, Will Loader as well. So as they're learning the course as well, feel quite spread out, of course, with a couple of riders not taking part in today's session, with number 57, Ewan Hamilton, on the way through on the 250 Ducati, the Mark III machine. So those are your first solo machines through here. They'll start to just get a bit of road to themselves, maybe not having to worry as much about traffic in and around them, as long as they're not too bunched up, with they're not at the moment. The next trio have also spread out a little bit, as number 10, Andy Hunt, on the way through on one of the 250s. And then a duo of 350s on the way through as well. That's numbers 69 and 22. So that's Rod Graham, numbers 72, 94, 99 and 20 in that particular gaggle. On the way through, Gary Hutton at the back of that particular group as well. So that's getting a little congested round there, but all of them just taking it nice and steady through Cross Four Ways on the way through. 2 more machines into view. Bob Doughty, to you, Tim.
Yeah, Mike Hose through 21 wins. He's on, of course, here at this meeting more than anyone else. He's done an opening lap of 73.412 miles per hour. Bike number 4, the returning Mike Hose. Number 21, Will Loader, 72.212. And that's number 17 through Andrew Guy on the Drixton Air Mackie, the Sheffield rider. He's recorded 66.722. A retirement there is number 40, Barry Davidson, 63.382 miles per hour. But again, pulled over to the left-hand side of the road, hand in the air, distinctly indicating that he was pulling in further down the Castletown bypass. Ewan Hamilton, number 57, has gone through at 64.373 miles per hour. So not shoddy speeds at all, but they are a considerable way down due to the conditions here in the south of the Isle of Man. Number 10, Andy Hunt, is through. Let you listen to those machines through, and I can tell you that 94, Terence Sampson is safely through. 72, Shelley Pike. 69, Gary Abbott. 22, Rod Graham. 20, Gary Hutton. and that was number 15, Rob Doughty there, just through. Bob Doughty on that Ducati, the Douglas Rider. But that is Martin Tranter, number 49, through. So let's go back out to Cross Four Ways, where Mike Hose seems to be ignoring the conditions somewhat and riding very, very well indeed on his return.
Indeed. Well, he's just coming up to us now here. Number 4, Mike Hose. He's pulled away from the rest of the order here, so just starting to pick up the pace a little bit there. You mentioned that opening lap. That's the benchmark. Number 21, Will Loader, a couple of seconds back there as well. So those first two in the order on the road have started to open up a little bit of a gap to those who are still out on the Billown course on this lap as well. Before that as well, we'd seen at the back of the order Jeff Bates finishing that latest lap as well. So Mike Hose and Will Loader starting to catch the back of the field already. You mentioned the sort of speeds we're looking at there. Not only is it opening practice, but of course the conditions means we are certainly not expecting anyone to be troubling the top times qualifying or race for that matter. Number 17, Andrew Guy on the Air Mackie on the way through as well, so the field definitely spreading out just a little bit more. So there's 3 on this latest lap that have made their way through Cross Four Ways. Mike Hose, Will Loader, and then we've just had Andrew Guy on the way through as well. It'd be interesting to see what they're actually learning from this as well. So whilst the pace may only creep up ever so slightly because of the conditions, just learn a little bit more about those machines as well. Learn a bit more about the conditions, because it could well be the case that we see more of this drab weather over the next couple of days. Latest one to arrive at Cross Four Ways is number 57. That's Ewan Hamilton. So that is the now a quartet through on this latest qualifying lap as well. They'll just be trying to learn anything they can at this point, absolutely anything they can, to the way that the conditions are playing out on the course as well, how that might be affecting their racing line, if in any way at all. Back to you, Tim.
Yeah, I can tell you that Will Loader's gone quicker than Mike Hose on that lap there. Will Loader 73.640. Mike Hose through at 73.412. Mike Hose did look like he was slowing. He gave a little indication as well as he crossed the line, and we believe he has gone into the pits. We've had the 3-minute board, 2 minutes now being displayed, that came in last year for the first time, where they're giving the riders an indication of how long they've got before the checkered flag comes out, and now the 1-minute board has gone out. So that last rider through was Andrew Guy. He's gone quicker on that lap as well, 70.318 miles per hour, and is up to third on the start sheet there. The times: Will Loader quickest, 73.640. Mike Hose at 73.412, and he's number 4, and 17 Andrew Guy, 70.318 miles per hour. There's number 57. He's put his quickest lap in, Ewan Hamilton, at 65.311, and is currently 4th quickest on the qualifying table. So just those 4 machines have gone through and completed a 3rd timed lap. The 1-minute board's still out, but it'll be down into the last few seconds of that. Number 10, Andy Hunt through. There's 22, Rod Graham. He's gone up into 5th place. Rod Graham at 65.006, and there is the checkered flag. So there's only going to be a few that'll be able to get an extra lap in. The rest are being flagged in. So let's go to Rob. There won't be many, but let's see them through Cross Four Ways.
Yeah, there won't be too many. Still some towards the back of the order as it stands, making their way past us at the moment. First on the road on this last lap, as you said, with the checker flag just coming out, is number 21, Will Loader, who, as Tim mentioned, went quickest on that second flying lap there. So Will Loader on the way through Cross Four Ways for the final time in this session, at the very least, starting to pick up the pace. You mentioned that Mike Hose was maybe coming into the pits as well there, so plenty of open road for Will Loader to look at there to maybe extend that time that he's already set at the moment. Those two had really opened up a little bit of a gap, hadn't they, towards the rest of the order, and that appears to be the case here. You know there's a bit of a gap when there's a little bit of a still that comes over here across Four Ways. We can now see more machines making their way towards us, down into the dip and on their way towards Cross Four Ways, and that's number 17, Andrew Guy. He's getting an extra lap in, and number 70 as well, Jeff Bates, who's towards the back of the order as well. I believe that's going to be the second lap for Jeff Bates out there as well, but that will be another qualifying lap for Jeff Bates out there as well. So a number of machines still circulating out there. So we had Will Loader at the head of the order on the road, that is, in this qualifying session. Then Andrew Guy was on the way through as well. So those two, by my reckoning, are amongst those who are going to get that third qualifying lap in. They'll be just taking on board a lot of information at the moment as well. Over to you, Tim.
And perfect timing there is Will Loader. Didn't improve his time on that fourth timed lap, but he is the quickest at 73.640. Here is number 66 through. That's Robert Noyle. He's down in 17th. He's completed 3 laps. Quickest was lap 2 at 54.326 miles per hour. And the road goes quiet, so just Will Loader, and there'll be a couple of others to come, but have managed to complete that lap 3. So we'll start walking our way down the leaderboard. Here's another machine into view. And that is number 17, Andrew Guy. So it is number 21, Will Loader, who is top at the end of that first practice session. He was, of course, the winner of the 350s last year. Number 70, Jeff Bates. He's just put his quickest lap in. He has certainly taken it very steady around the Motor Isle Billown Course. Done the 3 laps, quickest on that last lap at 55.452. So number 21, Will Loader, is the top of the pile. 73.640 miles per hour. Then it's number 4, Mike Hose at 73.412. Third is number 17, Andrew Guy at 70.318 miles per hour. And fourth, number 57, Ewan Hamilton at 65.311 miles per hour. He was the machine just crossing the line as we were giving you the times. 2 more machines. And a change now, because up into fourth is number 22, Rod Graham. He's put in his quickest lap there at 65.992 miles per hour. So that puts number 57, Ewan Hamilton, down into fifth. Sixth is number 10, Andy Hunt, 65.128 miles per hour. Seventh, number 72, going really well, Shelley Pike at 64.942 miles per hour. And indeed, Shelley, I'm sure, done a podium last year, if I recall correctly, in this particular race. Just going to go a bit further back and check that, but I've got that in my head somehow. Wasn't in the 250s, in the 350s. Yes, she finished second behind Will Loader. So Shelley Pike has certainly put a marker down again. 7th quickest. 8th is number 20. That's Gary Hutton at 64.426 miles per hour. 9th, number 40, Barry Davidson at 63.382 miles per hour. 10th, number 15, Bob Doughty, 63.370 miles per hour. 11th, number 94, Terence Sampson at 63.261 miles per hour. 12th, number 69, Gary Abbott. And the machines, the screen's gone blank, so we can't go any further down. But the course inspection cars have just completed their lap. So that should mean that we should start making some movement down towards the next scheduled practice, which should be the 1,100cc classic bikes. Let's get all the details with Chris Kinley.
Yeah, just some information for the last session. Barry Davidson's listeners and fans over there in Northern Ireland. Barry pulled into the pits, made some adjustments, tried to get the thing fired back up again, but unfortunately she just wouldn't fire, so Barry didn't get back out in that session, so he'll stay where he is. I've just had a quick chat with Chris Moffat. Local fans will know Chris at that big off at the Manx Grand Prix last year. Chris looking at him in fine fettle. I said to him, "You're going to do it again?" He said, "Oh, aye, next year," you said, "next year." So good man, Chris. Nice to see you. See you in good form as well. There's number 9, Chris McGowan, multi-times winner around here. 59 in there as well. Andy Kildare for Newton Ards. 53, also making a a run out here from Armand on his MBR Honda, the 504. That, of course, is Ian Thompson. Machines are making their way already out in the circuit. There's the winner from last year, Andy Hornby, on the Triumph, the 750 Triumph, the Exeter rider, who was at the Northwest 200 a couple of weeks ago on his pattern. Number 2, Alan Oversby in the 500 Honda, the Ruthless Racing Machine. He's about to go, and also is number 101, Gary Porter from Wigan on the Rob North BSA, the Porter Racing Machine. Number 7 and number 11, Harley Rushton. Harley, of course, will go well around here on that Craven Classic Machine. And number 11, Steve Elliott. He's about to go out. Also is number 92. Give everybody as many people a mention as we can. So 92. We've got more coming. 1, 2, 3, 4. 27 is next. That's Tom Snow. Good to see Tom back on the island. 36, Jeffrey Vermeulen. 51 on another. Well, you can hear that different note, can't you? That's Nikolai Kinkler on the Rob North Triumph 750. Number 16 at the back of this is having an extra run around. And number 12 on the Bob Jackson Norton. That, of course, is Richie Ford. And Richard bringing the machine to the front. 39, just having a few problems getting it started there. Local man from Ramsey, Tom O'Burnett on the Izzard Racing 500 Manx Norton. So they've got the little rolling tyre thing down there, which they will run it on, and just hopefully they'll get that machine. Andy's there, who's the mechanic with it. Andy moved over here a good few years ago, knows a lot about these classic machines. Number 82, Andy McAllister, Andy Mack, one of the local guys over there in Bangor, Northern Ireland on the Drixton Honda. They're trying to get that machine fired up. They've got the roller down there. Haven't got 39 fired up yet, and I think he's a bit puffed, the lad there going past us now. So 39, you can just hear in the background. He's got that machine fired up. That's Tom O'Burnett. So now it's Andy Mack's turn. Andy, of course, had a bit of an accident a couple of years ago, got himself sorted out. He was a scrutineer or a technical official for 1 year as well, or maybe 2 years, maybe still does it. But Tom O'Burnett has got going, so we'll just stick with this. We'll just hopefully we get Andy Mack. I know there's a lot of people over there in Northern Ireland will be listening. That man from Bangor is going to roll it back and up there. Andy was there, got it started, didn't you? You know your stuff. You're some boy, you are. So right, he's just going to roll it back on there. Let's describe this to him. So Andy just rolls the machine back up. It's two little wheels that are together. The back wheel slots onto the two wheels. You'll hear it kick there now. That's the motor running. And there you go. And there she goes. As easy and as simple as that. Lap 1 of the Foreign Juventus 1100 Classic race. Let's go to Rob at Cross Four Ways.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. We've had the first couple of machines through. We've got one just pulling over here. Number 21 Will Load has come to a stop at Cross Four Ways. And number 9 as well. Number 0 is Alan Oversby, the winner from last year as well. So 2 have stopped here at Cross Four Ways. One of them is Chris McGahn and one is number 21, Will Loader. So maybe just trying to work out a few things mechanically. As number 53, Ian Thompson, on the way through Cross Four Ways in this 1100cc class. Number 2, Alan Oversby, on the way through. Previous winner. Number 0 was Andy Hornby in mine, so I'm just correct myself a little bit as Gary Porter is on the way through with these latest machines as well. Harley Rushton there, just ahead on the road of number 98, Brian Appleton, and number 11 is Stephen Elliott, so another trio on the way through there. So yeah, just a reminder, a couple of stoppages across Four Ways. To you, Tim.
Yeah, let's see if they get going. But number 4, Mike Hose, again at the front of this practice session as well, is Mr. Hose on the Davies Motorsport Yamaha. Second machine interview now. And that is number 32. 32 being, of course, Kelly Carruthers, the Kirkcaldy rider on the Honda 500. There's Heaven Owen at number 100. 59, Andy Kildare. Andy Hornby, number 0, the winner, of course, last year, the Exeter rider on that lovely 750 Triumph. As the road goes a little bit quiet, and just one now at the top of School Hill Rise, second further back. That's 53, Ian Thompson, and number 2, Alan Oversby. There's 101, Gary Porter, 2 together. 75, Neil Lloyd, and number 7, Harley Rushton through. 11 and 98 together, they were Stephen Elliott, number 11, and 98, Brian Appleton. As The rain just spotting away still. Not heavy rain as such yet, but 2 more machines into view. We'll just hear them across the line. They're going to cross the line almost together. That's Dave Bruff and Stephen Walsh. Let's go back to Robert Cross Fourways.
Yeah, thanks, Tim. You've read my mind there, because when I looked at the rain as well, yes, it's still falling here, but maybe just a little lighter than it was around 20 minutes ago. We mentioned on the last lap as well, Will Loader came to stop across Fourways. He has actually gone on to continue on his way back round as the man at the front of the order on the road, number 4, Mike Hose. Certainly not hanging around, jumping from one machine to the other into this class, so that's Mike Hose on the way through on this lap as well. So yes, there we did get Will Loader. We did see him back on his way. Whether he does continue for another lap, we'll wait and see. But he did get moving once again from Cross Fourways. But Mike Hose has pulled out a bit of gap to the order behind him as one more machine hoves into view here at Cross Fourways on this second lap. That's number 32, Kelly Carruthers. And those are your first 2 machines through Cross Fourways. Number 4, Mike Hose, and number 32, Kelly Carruthers. One more machine in the distance, 2 more now, a little bit separating the both of them. First of those is number 0, Andy Hornby, previous winner in the class, followed by number 59. That's Andy Kildee on the Honda, and number 100, Heffernan Owen as well there. So in this class as well, as we saw in the last session as well, the machines, the respective machines, just starting to spread out a little bit more on this latest lap, and certainly Mike Hose not hanging around at the front of the order, is he? But Kelly Carruthers showing a bit of pace on that lap as well. Numbers 82 and 2 on the way through, Andy McAllister, Alan Oversby. To you, Tim.
Here he is, Mike Hose, 78.545 miles per hour, 3 minutes 14.794. I did think that Will Loader was pulling in. He certainly was over on the left-hand side of the road and did seem to be indicating that he was pulling in. So number 21, Will Loader, who had stopped at Cross Fourways, I'm pretty certain is now a retirement. This should be 32 into view. It is. And that's Kelly Carruthers, the Capaldi rider on that Honda, and a third machine now into view. And that is Andy Hornby. He goes second quickest at 76.275 miles per hour. Kelly Carruthers, number 32, is 73.817 miles per hour. And Andy Kildare, number 59, 72.207. Heffernan Owen has gone through, number 100, at 66.664 miles per hour. And up into second there is number 2, Alan Oversby, at 74.045 miles per hour. Number 7 and 53.7, Harley Rushton. He moves above Kildare now into 5th at 73.371. Number 11, Stephen Elliott, is up into 6th now at 72.537. And 7th, number 59, Kildare. And then it's Porter, Thompson and Owen. Let's go to Cross Fourways.
There's Mick Johnson on the way through Cross Fourways here. The other one that did stop on the opening lap, we've already mentioned Will Loader a couple of times there, but Chris McGahn did pull over here across Fourways. He's managed to get back out and is still circulating in this session as well. So maybe just a couple of tweaks and back on his way for number 9, Chris McGahn in this session. There is number 4, Mike Hose there. Back through Cross Fourways again, looking nice and smooth on these opening couple of laps here. And still ever extending that gap to the rest of the order on the road behind him as well. So number 4, Mike Hose on this latest lap on the Davies Motorsport Yamaha. As things fall silent here again at Cross Fourways. That rain's still dropping. Yes, we said it had got a little bit lighter, but nevertheless it is still going here as the second machine back into view is number 32, Kelly Carruthers, just dropping a little bit further back from Mike Hose on the road, it seems. Followed swiftly here by Andy Hornby on the Triumph as well, the number 0 machine, who maybe just seems to have made a little bit of ground on Carruthers on the road, so maybe just picking up the pace ever so slightly is former winner Andy Hornby on the 750 Triumph, the man from Exeter. So your first trio on this latest lap on the way through are in through Cross Fourways. Another one of those is Andy Kildee as well. A couple of seconds further back on the road from number 0, Andy Hornby as well, who, as I mentioned just before, just maybe picking up the pace a little bit. Interesting to see what his timings are on this latest wet lap here on the Motor Isle Billown Course. 1-1 machine interview here in front of us at Cross Four Ways. That is number 2, Alan Oversby, the winner in this class last year. And a couple of seconds further back is Heffernan Owen. To you, Tim.
Yeah, to see hand up there with 2 minutes to go. Hand up from Mike Hose as he crossed the line there. He hasn't gone quicker than he did on lap 2. That was at 78.545. The 1 minute sign is now being held out here at the start finish. Another machine now into view is 32. And that's Kelly Carruthers up into 3rd. But the new quickest lap is number 0, Andy Hornby, 79.071 miles per hour. As Rob Pritchard at Cross Four Ways was saying, he just looked as if he'd upped the ante somewhat, and he has indeed. He's gone ahead of Hose on the timing charts. There's number 59, that's Andy Kildare. He is up into 7th position with his quickest lap there at 73.241 miles per hour. The 1 minute board will be very shortly being withdrawn and replaced by the checkered flag. And number 2 is just squeezing through. And that's Alan Oversby, and he's gone quicker, and he's only just beaten the checkered flag there. Alan Oversby can get another lap in, 74.558. Final lap now for 7, Harley Rushton, number 100, Heffernan Owen, and number 82, Andy McAllister. They aren't going to get the opportunity to improve, but it is Hornby, with Hose having pulled in at the end of that lap. Hornby has gone quickest at 79, as 53 in Thompson goes through. He is up into 14th with his quickest time at 68.760 miles per hour. Let's go back to Rob at Cross Four Ways.
Yeah, and another chance there for Andy Hornby maybe just to maybe maintain or even better that previous lap. It did just seem like he just picked up the pace a little bit in terms of a little further back down the order as well, and it seems to have paid dividends as well. Another one that's been looking steady on the way through with a bit of traffic around, number 11, Stephen Elliott as well. There's been a scotch of machines together on this particular session, and he's been amongst those as well, but has just slowly but surely been making his way through the traffic in front of him, as well as the next machine on the road is on the way through. There is your current lap setter, pace setter I should say, number 0, Andy Hornby, who is now ahead on the road as well of number 32, Kelly Carruthers here. Carruthers, for the first couple of laps of this session, have been ahead of Hornby as well. So Hornby getting ahead of Carruthers there, who's been running steady as well. So Andy Hornby not just leading the lap times, but leading the order of the machines that have been able to get out for another lap here. Number 3, Mark Johnson on the way through on the MJ Racing Drixton Honda as well. So there's 3 more machines through Cross Four Ways there. So a chance for Andy Hornby there, getting past Kelly Carruthers to maybe just look at an even better time as number 59 on the way through there. That's Andy Kildare. Just looking on the exit there, there's Kildare. He'll be making his way up towards Church Bends. And another interview is number 2, Alan Oversby there. We mentioned from Tim there that he just managed to get ahead of the checkered flag to get another lap out there. So that'll be more important data in the mind, if you like. Of course, no onboard telemetry on these things, or data acquisition, if you like. It's all in the rider. Back to you, Tim.
Yeah, he literally just squeezed through as the checkered flag was going from unfurled to hung out to be on view. Here is number 0, and a quicker lap again, 79.264 for Andy Hornby, and a quickest lap as well for Kelly Carruthers. He's up into 3rd at 76.207 miles per hour. Sandwiched in the middle there in 2nd is number 4, Mike Hose, 78.545 miles per hour. So Hornby's time, best lap, 3 minutes, 13.025 seconds, compared to Mike Hose, 3 minutes, 14.794 seconds. A machine interview. That is number 59, Andy Kildare. He remains in 7th. That was number 3, Mark Johnson. Quickest lap for him at 57.601 miles per hour. He's in 22nd. We did just see it was Alan Oversby through, number 2, and a quickest lap from him in 5th place he is at 75.463. Just above him is number 12, Richard Ford, at 75.544 miles per hour. So that top 5, and then we'll go down the rest. Hornby leads from Hose, from Carruthers, from Ford, and then Oversby in 5th. 6th is number 7, and that is Harley Rushton at 74.517 miles per hour. 7th, number 59, Andy Kildare at 73.241 miles per hour. 8th is number 39, Tom O'Burnett, the Ramsey rider, at 73.152 miles per hour. 9th is number 11, Stephen Elliott, 72.537 miles per hour. 10th, number 16, is Owen Monaghan at 71.115 miles per hour. 11th is number 36, Jeffrey Vermeulen at 70.295. 12th is number 27, Tom Snow at 69.738 miles per hour. Then 13th is number 82, Andy McAllister, 69.578 miles per hour. 14th position is the 101, Gary Porter, at 68.896 miles per hour. 15th is number 53, Ian Thompson, 68.760. 16th is number 98, Brian Appleton, 67.710 for him. Chris McGahn has just been moved up into 16th, number 9, at 68.518. 18th is Nikolai Klinker, and that is where the screen goes. So we've got as far down as we can, but the Barneveld rider, Nikolai Klinker, on the Rob North Triumph, was there in 17th. Now, the rain, to my mind, is falling at its heaviest that we've had so far, I think, this evening. And just remarked to people in the commentary box how dark it seems to have got in the last few minutes out there. So I think conditions, if anything, are going to deteriorate as we head for the third of our practice sessions this evening. And that will be the Junior Superbikes and the 400cc Post Classic Machinery. That's races 3 and also A. But, yeah, definitely a little bit heavier is the rain here this evening. So, last year, going back to that race 2, the Foraging Vintners 1100cc Classic race, Andy Hornby was the winner, number 2, ahead of Joe Yeardsley and ahead of Richard Ford in 3rd. The course cars are going past me now with the headlights blazing into the commentary box now. Let's go back to Chris Kinley. That should mean bikes are on the way.
Yeah, there's 2 sessions out in this one. You've got the 400s and you've got the Junior Superbike race in there as well. So you've got different machines, some page 44 on your programme and page 54 on your programme. So a mixture of everything really, from 250 Hondas to 600 Kawasaki's and then to 750s in there as well. There's actually a Neil Champion on a 750 Ducati in there as well. Andy Jessop's got his 668 Laverda in there too. So some different machines. Speaking of which, he goes past us there now. Chris Moore goes through as well on 33 on the 250. He was 3rd here last year in this one. Barry Davison is back out on the number 40 machine. Now, to differentiate, okay, the orange plates and black numbers are the Junior Superbikes, okay? Orange plates and black numbers, okay? The 400s, blue plates and white numbers, and the orange plates and black numbers, okay? Don't be confused, just follow the numbers, buy a programme, they're only £7, and there's number 31, Colin Croft, just goes past us. Good to see Crofty back here, and look, Sunderland Club are on it tonight, the team up there. Machines are now back on the circuit. It's number 103, goes past us there now. Now 103, over me programme, newcomer Thomas Bradshaw on his 400cc Kawasaki, the Derby rider. 22 is next to go. We've seen him a bit earlier on the classic machine. He's out now is Rod Graham on his 600 Kawasaki. 78 is next to go out. That's Dean Radcliffe from Dursley. So they'll all be making sure they've got the rain lights on. Number 30 rolls past us as well. James Leatham on a CBR 600 from Warrington on a 1995 CBR 600. Number 12 is next there. Number 12 over the page again, trying not to get everything wet, is Richard Ford. Richard on the 400 Kawasaki, the Bob Jackson machine, the Preston rider there. 75. Oh, lovely, that's beautiful. A lovely little NC30, little baby RC30, beautiful machine, number 75. That's Neil Lloyd from Wednesbury on the 400 RVF Lloyd's racing machine. And I think that is just about everybody out. Couple more to go. 16, we can see, not going to miss number 16 there. 16 over the page again is Owen Monaghan on the 400 Kawasaki on the Monaghan racing machine from Ilkeston, and still they leave. So quite a big field in this one. I agree with what you were saying, those raindrops getting a little bit heavier, and the final machine going out looks like a CBR 600 to me. 25 that is, it's Aaron Hans from Rudden on the CBR 600 machine. He's one of the final machines to go. Number 16, just having a few problems, is Owen Monaghan. But let's get to Cross Four Ways.
Yeah, there's a reason this field is busy, because speaking to the Southern 100 Club this week, one of the big, I suppose, changes in terms of the regulations coming into this, of course, classic eligibility is changing all the time, and coming in for this year was the 400cc post-classic machine, something which is still quite popular in certain parts of the world as well, hence why quite a lot of them are available. As the first three machines make their way towards us on the orange plates there, so number 88, Leon Donaghy, 44, Grant Thompson, and number 61 there as well on the way through. 102, 33, and two more, 23 and 18 as well. So Andy Saylor part of that group as well, the Lancaster man. He's gone well at times in the last couple of pre-TT classic meetings as well. One of those there, number 44, Grant Thompson, the rider from Port St Mary. What a rise he's had over the last couple of years here at Billown, and of course making his Manx Grand Prix debut later this year. Three more on the way through. At the back of that little group is number 2, Alan Oversby on the 400 Kawasaki as well. Number 40 this time on the way through, followed by number 19. So that's Tim Poole on the way through as well. They're just at the back of that little duo there. But you can certainly see just how many more machines there are compared to other classes in this opening lap already. 54, 107 and 31 on the way through is Colin Croft there on the Yamaha, the Croft electrical machine. 41 and 86 on the way through as well. So that's Radley Hughes and also Andy Jessup on the 650 Laverda as well. So plenty of machines, plenty of classes really to be keeping an eye on this one. 89, 48 and 95 numbers. Tim.
Considerably more spray as Thompson and Donaghy go through. That was Leon Murphy, Chris Moore, Andy Saylor, Wayne Avis and Adrian Kershaw, but there's an awful lot more spray now on the start-finish line as these machines go through. It really, really is noticeable. So conditions are definitely deteriorating. Going to let you listen to Alan Oversby, 24, Adam Randalls and 79, Ashley Robson. Another machine into view. And that is number 19, Tim Poole. So two machines, one overtake as well. I think one's pulling in. It's 107 through Nick Sweet, but it is number 40 who is retiring. That's Barry Davidson. 54, Paul Turner, and 31, Colin Croft are through. That is 41. That is Radley Hughes. Safely through. No times, of course, on this particular crossing of the start-finish line. 86, Andy Jessup through. 95, Martin Clare. 48, Michael Bampton, and 30, James Leatham, and 101, Gary Porter. 42, Steve Moody, Rob Lowe, Dean Radcliffe, and Dale Brew. 89, 78, and 43 are all through as well. There's 12 and 50, Richard Ford and Dave Glover. And 81, the last through here, Blake Kelly. Let's head back to Cross Four Ways, Rob Pritchard.
I was just looking towards the back of the order just as the latest machines come through on this latest lap. There's number 44, Grant Thompson. Mentioned before as well, Manx Grand Prix debut later this year, but of course really made an impression at the Southern in last July. 88 on the way through there. That's Leon Donaghy. was 18 and 33 as well. Chris Moore behind Andy Saylor in the order. Number 23, number 61 and 102 in the 400 class there. So it's Wayne Avis following closely to Leon Murphy on the road as it stands as well. Wayne Avis, another rider who's actually, particularly in the north of the island as well, has been picking up a few gongs, as it were, with the Andros Racing Association, with racing up at Jerby as well. Two more machines. There's number 2 and number 24 as well. So that's Adam Randalls on the way through. Number 79 and also number 19 as well there, Tim Poole. One of those riders toward the back of the order. Just come back to that as we wait for the next machine to come through. Owen Monaghan as well, who's out there, had a really good last couple of years in the 125 class already at the Pre-TT as well. So it'll be interesting to see how he maybe does elsewhere from those other commitments. Number 107 is Nick Sweet, one of the newcomers, so getting plenty of lapses, Nick Sweet, at the moment in this opening session as well, even though the conditions aren't ideal, but learning all the time. Back to you, Tim.
Yeah, quite a lap there from 44, Grant Thompson. As 18, Andy Saylor slots into second. 33, Chris Moore just through in third. And Adrian Kershaw now just through, number 23 in fourth. But 83.594 miles per hour for Grant Thompson, ahead of number 18, Andy Saylor, at 81.730. Leon Donaghy is through. Wayne Avis through as well, and Leon Murphy. There's number 2, Alan Oversby, and he slots into 6th at 79.152. And in 7th now, 24, Adam Randalls. He's at 78.833, but up into 3rd was the last but one machine past us. Number 19, Tim Poole, at 80.256 miles per hour. Also through is Ashley Robson, number 79. He's in 11th, currently at 74. Nick Sweet has slotted into 9th, number 107, the newcomer, at 76.698. Good going in these not good conditions now here at Billown, the Motor Isle Billown Course. But what a lap that was from the local man, number 44, Grant Thompson. 3 minutes, 3.028 miles per hour. Overtake on the inside there from number 95, Martin Clare, on number 41, Radley Hughes. Also through there with James Leatham, and also number 31, Colin Crawford. It's Thompson from Saylor from Poole. Let's go back to Cross Four Ways, Rob Pritchard.
Great timing. Grant Thompson has just made his way through Cross Four Ways, and he looks like a man on a mission on this lap as well at the moment. So Grant Thompson may well go on to improve on the times already. 4 more machines into view. Moving up in the order on the road is number 18, Andy Saylor. And there's 103, 88 and 33. So Chris Moore. So those two who are battling away amongst the top spots in the qualifying, the moment number 23 comes through. That's Adrian Kershaw. So they're maybe just getting into a little bit of traffic there, Andy Saylor and Chris Moore. Something to think about. Number 61, Leon Murphy. Followed closely in tow by number 102, Wayne Avis on the Kawasaki, the ZXR. Number 2 on the way through as well, followed by number 24 is Adam Randalls, going well as we heard from Tim before. And number 19 as well, Tim Poole, another who's running well in this in this qualifying session, I should say. Interesting what you say about the spray on the road. You can definitely see it when we get a scutch of machines coming through now at Cross Four Ways as well. It is very much more noticeable, quite noticeable as well as the racing line, if you like. But the spray coming off the surface at the moment is becoming more telling. Back to you, Tim.
2 minute board has gone up. In fact, it's been replaced now by the 1 minute board. Grant Thompson is through, and a quickest lap yet. 85.776 miles per hour in these conditions is exceptional. Andy Saylor's just gone through. He remains in second at 81.730. Chris Moore has just leaped ahead of number 88, Leon Donaghy. And number 33, Chris Moore at 80.210 miles per hour, and Donaghy at 79.611, both putting in their quickest laps so far. Up into third now is number 2, that's Alan Oversby at 80.971. Tim Poole now goes up into second, number 19 at 83.9 88.205, and they've all beaten the checkered flag so far, so they do have the option, as the checkered flag comes out right on cue there, they do have the option, of course, of getting a fourth lap in here, but it is 44 Grant Thompson. What a lap that was. Under the 3 minutes, 2 minutes 58.372 seconds in these conditions. At 107, Nick Sweet goes up into ninth position at 78.283 miles per hour for the newcomer there. Impressive stuff from the newcomer there. Grant Thompson then, number 44, and he's some 5.5 seconds quicker than the second place man, Tim Poole. Then it's Saylor, Oversby, Moore and Randalls. Let's go to cross four ways.
Right on cue again, Tim. There's Grant Thompson on the way through, just starting to catch the back of the order at the moment, such as his pace despite these conditions, as number 89 on the way through there as well. That's Rob Lowe. And 79 and 28. So Ashley Robson on the way through, as is Oliver Wilson, one of the newcomers. So Grant Thompson, he's not just catching up to the back of the order on the road, he's already making his way through at the moment, such as his pace. Numbers 22 and 18. So Andy Saylor is in there as well, with one machine in front of him. Running well at the moment, numbers 88 and 33 as well. So Leon Donaghy just in front of Chris Moore on the road as well. So the likes of Andy Saylor and Chris Moore, who've been up at the sharp end in terms of the time so far, they're getting another chance on these latter stages, making their way towards Church Bend, as you can possibly hear in the distance. Then they'll be barrelling on down through the meadow and then towards Stadium as well for the latter stages of this session. Four more machines into view. Number 2, Alan Oversby is in there. Number 102 and 24 also there. And number 19 on the way through is Tim Poole. Constructive session for Tim Poole there as well at the back of that particular group. We mentioned at the back of the order that Grant Thompson was having to navigate. There were quite a few machines there, but it doesn't look like they'll be getting any time to go out for a further lap before this session comes to a close. But Grant Thompson certainly not hanging around, and the timings back that up. Back to you, Tim.
Yeah, he's just completed his fourth lap. Didn't go any quicker than that third lap, which sets the mark. 79, Ashley Robson just crossing the line. He's in 19th at the moment on the list. But Thompson quickest then at 85.776 miles per hour. Load of machines into view now. And 33, Chris Moore has gone up into 5th, and 6th, number 88, Leon Donaghy. Donaghy is at 80.350, Moore at 80.769 miles per hour. Wait now to see machine into view is number 2, Alan Oversby. That's his quickest lap. He remains 4th though. In fact, he goes down to 5th because moving in is Adam Randalls, number 24, who's just gone through at 81.514 miles per hour. So it is 44 Grant Thompson from number 19 Tim Poole. Third is number 18, Andy Saylor. 4th, 24, Adam Randalls. 5th, number 2, Alan Oversby. 6th, number 33, Chris Moore. 7th, number 88, Leon Donaghy. 8th, number 23, Adrian Kershaw. 9th, 102, Wayne Avis. 10th, that newcomer, Nick Sweet, 107. 11th, number 12, Richard Ford. 12th, number 16, that is Owen Monaghan. 13th is number 61, as number 103 just goes through past us there to finish. So Leon Murphy then at 13th, number 61. 14th is 25, Aaron Hands. 15th, 48, Michael Bampton. 16th, number 95, Martin Clare. 17th, number 41, Radley Hughes. 18th, number 30, James Leatham. 19th, number 79, Ashley Robson. 20th, number 31, Colin Croft. 21st, number 101, Gary Porter. 22nd, and just as the screen goes blank, I did get the name, it was Blake Kelly, who is there in that position. So quite a mix, and I did wonder what the thoughts are of number 103, the man newcomer from Derby, Thomas Bradshaw, as he was at the at the back end of the field there, and he had the leaders going past him. He's making his debut here in pretty poor conditions. There was noticeably more spray, and he just had a little look across at the commentary box and across at the officials here on the start-finish line as he went through and finished for the final time. And his eyes look like dinner plates inside that helmet. So I'm sure he will have many a tale to tell of his wet debut at the Motor Isle Billown Course. So next out should be, I'm just looking at the list, the Senior Classics, if I'm right. So race number 5 in the programme. So if you turn to, get the right page up here, race 5 is going to be page 48, I think. Indeed it is. So it is the Greystone LLC 500cc Senior Classic race. And we've got Alan Oversby due out, the Carnforth rider on the Ruthless Racing Honda. He's number 2. Number 3, he's a previous winner, as is number 4, Mike Hose, as is number 11, Stephen Elliott. Mike Hose is on the Davies Motorsport Yamaha, the rider from Morton. Good to see him back. Castletown's very own Paul Cassidy is out on the Norton as the course car just goes through. 7 is Harley Rushton. He's out on a Craven Matchless Ted Wolf machine. 9 is Chris McGarn. He's on Sealy. Stephen Elliott, the former winner of the race, number 11, he's on the Rutter Honda. So those are a few of the machines to look out for. Yellow plates and black numbers. Let's join Chris Kinley.
Well, you call the machines. Let's hear the machines. Number 4, just give us a quick nod as he goes by on the Davies Motorsport number 4 500 Yamaha machine. Then, of course, one of the favourites has to be Mike Hose. Dom Herbertson has the lap record for this with a 96.607 back to 2022. 59 goes past us. 21 past us as well. 21 is Will Loader. Andy Kildee's given a few mentions already so far this week. The gate is just about to be open and ready to go as 47 rolls towards us. Russell Rowbury on the 500 Max Norton. Number 7 Harley Rushton on the Craven Classic Racing machine. Number 2 drops in as well, that Alan Oversby in the Ruthless Racing Honda. This could be a belter actually. Race record held for this is Adam McLean, by the way, back to 2023. This will be a 7-lap race. There's 27 there, Tom Snow. Tom, of course, on the 476 John Pointer Ducati. Nice to give the sponsors a mention. 17 Andy Guy on the Helen and Gary Abbott on the Gold Star. And here we go, the revs rise. You can actually feel the ground shake underneath your feet with these machines. 37, we give the mention, always try and mention everybody. Benjamin Smith on the Northern Painters Ramsey machine. Davis Motorsport Honda. Number 20 is, of course, Gary Hutton, always runs that number. 36 is Jeffrey Vermeulen. 82, hopefully gets that machine sorted. Better luck than what he had in the earlier session. 82 there, of course, is Andy McAllister from Bangor. Number 8, Dan Sale, is going to go at the back of this little lot on the little 250. So he had a little run out in the previous session, but he's going on the back of this one. We've got one more machine just rolling towards us, 98 Brian Appleton. Local rider, of course, is Brian, performs up there on the Derby Airfield for the Andreas Racing Association. He's on the 500 Norton, and 75 roller next to him now is Neil Lloyd for Wednesbury again. We give him another mention. And machines are now well away and well around this 4 1/4 mile circuit and heading towards Cross Four Ways.
Yeah, I remember last year, go back to 2024, this was arguably my favourite race of the entire meeting. What a battle we saw at the front between Joe Yeardsley and Alan Oversby, the latest youth making their way through up against experience around the pre-TT, and we got an absolute treat of a race between those two at the front, and they were way out front, I remember. But the kicker, of course, was right at the end, almost a photo finish. Joe Yeardsley on the Royal Enfield Bullet, beating Alan Oversby by only 0.08 seconds. cracking race towards the front of the order that was. But Alan Oversby, he is out there again in this class, as we've already heard. We could just see one of the travelling marshals making their way towards us as well. We can hear those machines whirring away in the distance. We've already heard, haven't we, that the travelling marshals on BMW machinery this time around. Those BMWs, they'll also be seen with the travelling marshal team over on the Snaefell Mountain Course, and the Isle of Man TT races get underway next week. Unmistakable sound of these 500cc seniors making their way towards us, but one machine way ahead in the order. It's number 4, Mike Hose on the Davies Motorsport machine. A couple of seconds ahead of this man, number 21, Will Loader on the Sealy, the G50. Bit of deja vu, isn't it, really? Those two at the front of the order as well. They're keen to get out there and trying to build on the pace. 2 more machines drop down into the dip and head towards us across 4 ways. One of those is number 100, Heffer Owen, followed closely by number 32, Kelly Carruthers. Number 7 is Harley Rushton. Number 53, there's number 2, Alan Oversby. Wonder if he'll be at the sharp end again this year. Number 53, Ian Thompson. Numbers 59, 84 and number 9, so Chris McGard is back up there as well at the back of that potential trio. So those first machines all on their way through cross 4 ways, heading towards their flying lap. 4 more machines down towards us, making their way towards cross 4 ways, and at the front of that group at the moment is number 39, that's Tomo Burnett. There's 27, 69 and 47 on the way through. 2 more as well. We'll watch these through as well. Number 8, Dan Sale on an orange plated machine gets to go out. Number 17, Andrew Guy, and number 36 is Jeffrey Vermeulen as well. Number 82 bringing up behind is Andy McAllister, and number 20 Gary Hutton as well on the way through, still taking things nice and gingerly just at the moment. Number 75, that's Neil Lloyd. Number 98, back to you, Tim.
Yeah, Mike Hose and Will Loader the first through, numbers 4 and 21. Machine interview now. Kelly Carruthers and 3 machines now. There was Oversby, Rushton and Owen. Thompson and Moore as more machines, 2 more into view. That was Chris McGarn and Andy Kildare. So Chris McGarn going through well. There is number 39. That is Tomo Burnett. Chris McGarn on that Sealy. That was Dan Sale, number 8. Number 4, I think I'm hearing Mike Hose has gone into the pits on that Davies Motorsport Yamaha. Mike Hose pulling in at the end of this opening lap. Abbott, Guy, McAllister and Vermeulen, Rowbury all through. That's number 20, Gary Hutton. So the Senior Classic, the technical regulations, 2 strokes built before the end of 67 and the 4 strokes built before the end of 72, and all machines over 351cc but not exceeding 500cc. So a whole scutch through there. That's Hutton, Appleton, Lloyd and Smith. Let's go back to Rob at Cross 4 Ways.
Heading into this latest qualifying lap then. We just heard, as you mentioned there, Tim, if you missed it just a couple of moments ago, Mike Hose seemed to be pulling into the pits, so maybe that's job done for him on this session as well. So let's see who's at the front of the order this time around. Coming into view as across 4 ways is number 21, Will Loader. So plenty of open tarmac in front of Will Loader on the way through cross 4 ways and onto the latter stages of this latest qualifying lap as well. A few more seconds further back. Number 32, Kelly Carruthers, just seems to be dropping a couple of seconds back on the pace of the leading man on the road. Number 2, Alan Oversby, he's picked up the pace because he's now ahead of number 7, Harley Rushton on the road. So Alan Oversby just creeping up the order on the road at the moment as we welcome through number 84, Nigel Moore. Field starting to become a little bit more spread out. Number 100, Heffer Owen, has pulled a bit of a gap on the road to the man behind him. That's number 53, Ian Thompson. So number 21, Will Loader, first on the road there, but just a couple to note in behind us. Number 9, Chris McGarn, makes his way through cross 4 ways as well. Does seem like number 2, Alan Oversby, might have just picked up the pace a little bit, getting ahead on the road on number 7, Harley Rushton, one of those to maybe keep an eye on this particular lap. on the way through. That's the orange plated machine of number 8, Dan Sale, so getting a bit of an outing in this session. And then number 39, Tom Burnett, we heard from Tim before on the Izzard Racing machine. The Manx Norton, running well so far. Numbers 36, 59 and 47 through. To you, Tim.
Expecting the first spike to appear, it does. And that is 21, Will Loader, 75.040 miles per hour. 2 more machines, 3 indeed. And Alan Oversby is now top of the charts at 78.325. Number 2 leads number 7, 78.025 for Harley Rushton. Third is now number 84, Nigel Moore, 77.058. Fourth, number 32, Kelly Carruthers. And fifth, 21, Will Loader. There is number 100 just through. Trying to see if maybe he's pulling in there. Is Heffin Owen. 9, Chris McGahn slots into 6th. And 53, Ian Thompson into 7th. Here's the latest one through. And that is that distinctive noised bike of Dan Sale, outfit number 8. That was 39, Tomo Burnett. He's moved up into 8th and down into 9th now because 36, Jeff Vermeulen, has gone into 7th. That's 47, Russell Robury. He's into 10th position. 3 more machines into view. They were 82, Andy McAllister in 11th, 17, Andrew Guy in 14th, and Andy Kildare into 16th, because 69, Gary Abbott's just moved up into 15th. In fact, he's dropped to 16th because number 20, Gary Hutton, is up into 15th position. Another machine is 98. That is Brian Appleton. Let's go back to Cross Four Ways.
Yeah, waiting to see if Will Loader, as you mentioned the timings there, has just maybe opened up a little bit more. Just seems to be picking up the pace again. There's number 21, Will Loader here. Looking to make the most of this drab and damp session as it has been. Moving up the order yet again. Number 2, Alan Oversby, is now ahead on the road. And number 32, Kelly Carruthers. Following behind number 7, Harley Rushton on the Craven Classic Racing. Harley Rushton, of course, had a great time at the Manx Grand Prix last year in the MGP Junior Classic class. There's number 84, Nigel Moore on the Sealy, the G50, the John Reed machine. So Will Loader as well, looking nice and steady through Cross Four Ways again. Didn't appear to be slowing down, but of course time will tell, quite literally, on these latter stages of the lap. But number 2, Alan Oversby, who, as my suspicions confirmed, did move to the top of the qualifying times so far after that last lap, is just steadily making the way through traffic again, ahead of Kelly Carruthers and Harley Rushton on the road now, after overtaking Harley Rushton on the way towards Cross Four Ways on that previous lap as well. So going steady at the moment. Another man who seems to have made up a bit of ground here, number 9, Chris McGahn, ahead of Dan Sale on the road on that orange plated machine. And there's number 53, Ian Thompson, nice and steady at the moment, the man from Armagh. But that's another one to maybe watch out for on this lap. Number 9, Chris McGahn, getting ahead of a bit of traffic, so maybe just upping the ante a little bit in this session. There's number 39, Tomo Burnett. And number 36, Jeffrey Vermeulen on the Ducati on the way through there. So maybe, just as I say, one to keep an eye on. Number 9, Chris McGahn. Alan Oversby still going steady as well. Back to you, Tim.
Alan Oversby's put in a quicker lap on lap 3, 79.087 as the 2-minute board is being displayed. Nigel Moore, number 84, has moved up into 2nd at 78.289 miles per hour. Third is number 7, Harley Rushton. He was quickest on lap 2 of his 3 so far at 78.025. 7, in fact, Harley Rushton, we're hearing, has retired into the pits. 4th through is 32, Kelly Carruthers. And 5th through is 21, Will Loader. Now, the only 5 machines to have completed. Here's the 6th. And that's Dan Sale. That's the quickest lap for him at 75.581. And just through there was number 9, Chris McGahn, and it sounded like he turned the gas off as he went across the line and could well be a further retirement. 36, Jeffrey Vermeulen. That's his quickest at 73.751. He is 7th. 39, Tomo Burnett has been through. That's 53, Ian Thompson. And just had it confirmed that Chris McGahn has indeed, number 9, retired. Sounded like he was just letting the revs completely drop away as he crossed the line. Up into 9th there is number 82, Andy McAllister. And up into 11th is number 17, Andrew Guy. Andrew Guy, 71.411, 71.450 McAllister, but Oversby's quickest. Let's go out to cross four ways and Rob.
Yeah, we wait to see, just as number 37, Benjamin Smith, on the way through for what looks like it could be the final lap. Well, number 21, Will Loader, and number 2, Alan Oversby, has really made up ground on him on the road here as they both make their way through cross four ways. Alan Oversby has made up some serious ground there on the road. Up to number 21, Will Loader. They're now a few seconds ahead on the road. Number 32, Kelly Carruthers, and followed by number 84, Nigel Moore, running well at the moment, as we heard from Tim on the qualifying times at the moment as well. So Nigel Moore going well on that Sealy G50, the John Reed machine that we mentioned before. So Will Loader still at the front of the order on the road, but number 2, Alan Oversby, has been steadily making his way up through the traffic in this session, and as we've heard, it's paid dividends. He's at the top of those timings. He bettered his previous time on the last lap as well. He's really caught up to Will Loader on the road as well. So Alan Oversby may be looking to make it a hat-trick of fast laps potentially if he keeps up this pace. But there's a bit of a gap to those machines towards the front of the order now, and the next one making their way into the view here in the drizzle. And that is number 8, Dan Sale as well. So 8, Dan Sale on the way through cross four ways. So just a reminder, Will Loader and Alan Oversby close together on the road through cross four ways. So we could expect them both to arrive around the same time at the start-finish. To you, Tim.
Yeah, we're just looking up the road. 2 machines into view. Oversby is the first of them as he takes the checkered flag. And Will Loader was the second of those. Here's number 37. That is Benjamin Smith. He's put in his quickest lap at 62.408. He's in 18th position. Nigel Moore, number 84. Quickest lap for him. He's still in second at 78.790. So Oversby, 3 minutes 13.459 seconds compared to Moore at 3 minutes 14.186 seconds. So 79.087 miles per hour for Oversby, 78.790 for number 84, Nigel Moore. Third is number 7, Harley Rushton at 78.025. That's number 8, Dan Sale, in fact, goes into second. Number 8, Dan Sale, his quickest at 78.553 miles per hour on that last lap. So that relegates number 7, Harley Rushton, down into 4th. 5th, number 32, Kelly Carruthers, 76.848 miles per hour. 6th is number 21, and that is Will Loader. Will Loader at 76.669 miles per hour. 7th, and just passing through now, is number 36, Jeffrey Vermeulen, 75.632. And up into 8th, and quickest for him, is 39, Tomo Burnett at 73.082 miles per hour. Then it's 9th, number 9, Chris McGahn, who retired at the end of his third lap. 10th was number 82, Andy McAllister. 11th, in fact, number 82, Andy McAllister, has gone up into 9th, which puts McGahn in 10th. Andrew Guy, number 17, 11th. 12th, number 47, Russell Robury. 13th is number 53, Ian Thompson. 14th is number 100, Heaven Owen. 15th, number 20, that's Gary Hutton. 16th, number 98, Brian Appleton. 17th, number 69, Gary Abbott. 18th, number 37, Benjamin Smith. In fact, Hutton has moved up into 14th position with a 70.164 miles per hour on that last lap. So Owen is 15th, Appleton 16th, Abbott 17th, 18th, number 37, Benjamin Smith. 19th, number 59, Andy Kildare. And of course, number 4, Mike Hosen, 75, Neil Lloyd, didn't complete a timed lap. So that is the leaderboard for the race 5 in the programme on pages 48 and 49 in the programme. The Greystones LLC 500cc Senior Classic race, which we will see on Sunday afternoon. So just checking the schedule. And we've had the Senior Classics out, so next we should have the Lightweight Classic and the 125 cc machinery as well, the Post Classics. And indeed, the club aren't hanging around in these conditions. They're on the way, I'm told. So let's go to Chris Kinley. Some great noise here.
Certainly is, and you know, it's kind of been hit and miss, the old weather in the last 5 minutes. Been a little bit of rain and then it's been disappearing and it's been back again. A few spits and spots is number 4. He's been a busy man tonight, Mike Hose, and the 125 Honda, the Moto CJ Imports machine. Number 40 there, you can just hear revving. That of course is Barry Davison on the BD Honda. Next up, number 15, Bob Doughty on his lovely T20 Suzuki. Number 106, you can see there as well, Dave Bruff. Dave from Maryport on the Ambler 250 machine, 250 Honda. Number 16, just having a problem getting himself sorted out there. 16 is Owen Monaghan on the 125 Honda, the RLT racing machine from Ilkeston, but he's got it all sorted now. 34, Billy Cummins, good to see Billy back. The decorator on another one of those T20 Suzukis. 57, 10 and 76 just at the back there. Roy Phipps, here we go. One man to keep an eye on there would be number 57 there. That's Ewan Hamilton, previous winner of this. Number 10 just about to leave us. Andy Hunt on the Royal Enfield 250, the Ellie Rider. 94 is next to go. 94, Terrace Sansom. On the 250 Evans Honda, Paul and Dawn Matravers from West Huntsville. Number 12 just having a few problems getting it sorted out. It's Richie Ford, but he's got it sorted now. Richard has just gone past us down the Bob Jackson machine. Good to see Bob back in our island here again, staying down there at Joey Dunlop House. Is 76 just trying to get her fired. 76, there she goes, Roy Phipps. And number 70, Jeff Bates from Thornton Cleveland. He's a regular contributor to the show as well. I do on the radio station for a night time. So that is all the machines making their way out here. Mixture 125s and 250s. All different sorts going out there. Let's have a little look into what we got. Oh, everything's wet now. See, I knew this would happen, Rob. Over to you across four ways as I try and dry out a bit.
Chris, I completely sympathise with you. I'm in exactly the same position here at Cross Four Ways. Well, this class, of course, it is that combined class, isn't it? So, just a reminder, the 250cc machines are on green plates with white numbers, and the 125cc Post Classic machines, black plates with white numbers. We saw Dan Sale do incredibly well. I think he, if memory serves me correctly, he set an unofficial lap record for the 125 class at the Pre-TT last year. It was set in qualifying, so of course we'll not go down as an official lap record. And then the weather did manage to draw in, I think, so that put paid to any attempts to try and get towards that lap record in the 125 class. Chris mentioned one there before as well, Ewan Hamilton, previous winner in the class. Certainly want to keep an eye on if everything goes correctly mechanically on these machines. They can be fickle, these machines. I've described this race on a couple of occasions now as a real war of attrition. When you actually look at it down on paper, 6 laps and it says 25.5 miles in the world around us, the everyday world, that probably doesn't seem like much to a few people out there, but I tell you what, for these 250s and 125s, it feels like an awfully long time sometimes to get them round the Billown Course for that. Plenty do, of course. First two machines on the road in front of us, making their way towards Cross Four Ways for the first time in this session, is numbers 40 and 16. Barry Davidson and Owen Monaghan. And number 4 as well, Mike Hose out there. I mentioned it before, number 16, Owen Monaghan on the RLT Racing 125. One to potentially watch out for. Another one to watch out for is one of the men from Peel, and that's number 55, Rhys Collister as well. Ran well in that particular class last year as well, so that might be one to keep an eye on over the course of the meeting as well. 4 more machines interviewed towards us, and leading that group is number 57, Ewan Hamilton, previous winner. Number 15, Bob Doughty. Number 73 is Joris Pasternackles, the newcomer. And number 34, Billy Cummins, the man from Ramsey, on the T20 Suzuki. 2 more machines down towards us as well. Number 12, so that is Richard Ford. We heard maybe just need a couple of attempts to get that thing going in the paddock. We heard from Chris before. And number 94, Terence Sansom on the Paul and Dawn Matravers, Evans Honda on the way through as well. Number 10, another of the 250s, that is Andy Hunt on the Royal Enfield, the GP5 machine, the man from Ely. So we've had a fair few of those 125s and 250s through on this opening lap. I can see another machine making their way forwards in one of those newcomers' bibs there. It's number 106, Dave Brough, the man from Maryport. So machines out on this first lap. Back to you, Tim.
Yeah, number 40, Barry Davidson is through. I didn't catch what the number was of a second bike, but it's not come up on the screen. That is Mike Hose. At number 4 through, and in fact it's 16 Owen Monaghan who was the missing bike there, so he's through as well. Of course, no times as they came on to the Motor Isle Billown Course further down out at the gate at the clubhouse end, and that is 57 Ewan Hamilton, safety through, certainly taking it steady at the moment. 73. That is our newcomer Fastenackles. 15, Bob Doughty is through here, so 6 machines through, 2 more now. 34, Billy Cummins, and number 12, Richard Ford. Here's 94. That's Terence Sampson there with that Evans Honda. So look up a very damp School Hill rise as a further machine comes into view. Number 10 this is. 10 is Andy Hunt, the man from Ely. We hear that engine singing away into the distance down the bypass and heading towards Ballachagan as the road goes quiet for some time. It's pretty dark, it has to be said, looking towards Castletown and up the railway line towards the bridge. It's difficult to make the riders out coming across the bridge. It's getting that light, that dark now. Let's go back to Rob.
Yeah, it is. You can certainly sense the light fading here as number 16, Owen Monaghan, on the way through on that 125 ahead of number 40, Barry Davidson. So just upping the pace a little bit is Owen Monaghan on the RLT racing machine ahead of number 40, Barry Davidson. So 2 of the 125s way out in terms of the order on the road there as the rain continues to fall. And just looking down in front of us as well, it's not on the racing line, but we can see a bit of standing water developing just down near to us. So as the riders are coming in, you're thinking on that right-hand side before they get to the corner. As I mentioned, it's not on the racing line. But those first 2 machines through, so just a reminder, Owen Monaghan and Barry Davidson, number 16 and 40 in the 125 class, both were quite close together on that opening lap as well, but Owen Monaghan just seems to have stretched the legs of that RLT racing machine with Barry Davidson still closely in tow, it's fair to say. One more machine interview at Cross 4 Ways. Let's see who that is. That's number 57, Ewan Hamilton. So Ewan Hamilton, the first of the 250s on the green plates on the way through on this latest lap as well. So 2 125 post-classic machines on the way through on this latest qualifying lap. And the first of the 250cc machines on the way through number 57, Ewan Hamilton as well. 2 more emerging from the ever-increasing gloom, I think it's fair to say. Number 73, Joris Fastenackles. And number 15, Bob Doughty. Followed by numbers 34, Billy Cummins. And number 12, Richard Ford. Back to you, Tim.
Yeah, number 16, Owen Monaghan is the quickest at 78.168 miles per hour. Number 40, Barry Davidson, also gone through here at the Castletown bypass at the start-finish line. 76.828 miles per hour for him. So Monaghan 3 minutes 15.733 seconds, opposed to Barry Davidson at 3 minutes 19.146 seconds. So the road has gone quiet here. Those 2 have definitely stolen a stride on the rest of the field for this practice session for the Words and Spaces Printers 250 Classic and 125 Post Classic race. Another machine in view. That's 57. Ewan Hamilton at 70.735 miles per hour. So green plates with white numbers for the 250cc's, and then we have the 125's black plates with the white numbers. So just the 13 on the timing. I think, of course, Mike Hose was pulling in at the end of that. 73 through. So 73 was Fazenakel. 12 was Richard Ford through. He's in 5th. 34 Billy Cummins. That puts him in 4th. 6th, number 15, Bob Doughty. And they are the only ones with times recorded. So Hamilton at 70.735 is 3rd. Cummins at 67.9 is in 4th. Let's go back to Rob.
Yeah, just waiting to see those 125 machines making their way. You can probably hear them in the background here. Here's the first of them to make their way towards us. Number 16, Owen Monaghan. On this latest qualifying lap, who is all alone out front at the moment, is Owen Monaghan on the exit across 4 ways, now making his way towards Church Bends. He's stolen quite a bit of a march here on number 40, Barry Davidson. As number 70 on the way through, looks like on a previous lap, that's Jeff Bates on the Bates Honda, the 250 as well. So those two just catching a little bit of the traffic at the back of the order there, those front 2 machines, Owen Monaghan and Barry Davidson. Important to note again, number 16, Owen Monaghan, seems to have really stretched the legs of that RTL racing machine yet again, ahead of Barry Davidson on the road there. So Owen Monaghan might be looking to up the stakes a little bit again in terms of the timings possibly as well. So the first 125s through, it looks like Jeff Bates on that number 70 machine was one of the 250s on a previous lap as well. Another machine interview there, making their way towards cross 4 ways. We'll just take a look and see who that is. That's number 76, Roy Phipps. Man from Newcastle on the line as well. So number 70 and 76 in the order a little bit further down. They've actually been caught by the 2 125s out of the front of the order at the moment. But Owen Monaghan, as we mentioned, keep an eye on that time as it comes to the end of that lap, with this field getting a little bit more spread out. Number 57, Ewan Hamilton on the way through there. Ewan Hamilton dropped back a little bit from the front 2. To you, Tim.
Yeah, we just had Owen Monaghan, number 16, through. Quickest lap again at 78.289. That's number 40, Barry Davidson. He doesn't go quicker than he did on lap 2, so stays at 76.828 miles per hour. But Monaghan has gone 3 minutes 15.430 seconds. That is 78.289 miles per hour. The 2-minute board is on display, so 2 minutes, that signifies until the checkered flag will end this session. As another machine comes into view, and this is number 70. Number 70 is Jeff Bates. 55.039 miles per hour puts him in 10th position. And in fact, 10 have recorded times, because number 4, Mike Hose, a retirement, as was 106, Dave Bruff, and 76, Roy Phipps. So Hamilton, we think, is probably retired possibly as well. So we wait for Billy. No, that is in fact Ewan Hamilton through. He's up into 3rd with his quickest time on that lap, 71.178 miles per hour. The 1-minute board now being displayed. So can Billy Cummins, number 34, and number 12, Richard Ford, make it back here? Looks like we have a retirement. Hand up in the air from number 76, that is. 76, Roy Phipps, who we had down as retired, but definitely now a retirement. No time to bring you anyone else. There's 3 more interview. We'll let them listen across the line. And they have all made the checkered flag. Back to Rob.
Yeah, so they're going to get one more lap, the 2 first on the road, and one of those is number 16, Owen Monaghan, quickest again, as we heard from Tim as well. So improving, and number 40, Barry Davidson, doesn't seem to have dropped any further back. So still keeping a steady pace there, number 40, Barry Davidson, with those 2 125s, as they have been for this particular session, way out in front of the rest of the order. I was actually looking towards the back of the order as well. One of the previous winners, Richard Ford, was engrossed with 3 other machines and a little bit of traffic through cross 4 ways before as well. So as a previous winner, he'll no doubt be wanting to make his way through that traffic and try and maybe just improve on that time so far. But I was listening through as well. When that group did come through, I could hear unmistakably on the exit someone someone trying really hard to find a gear. It took them several goes, and they did manage to get it, and it got them on their way. That's classic racing for you, isn't it? Even a gear change can't be too simple. So those two 125s leading on the road, that it is. Number 16, Owen Monaghan, the pace setter at the moment, and number 40, Barry Davidson. They are the only ones through on this final lap. As we heard, the checkered flag is going to be coming out, so that means there is going to be a few more machines left out on the course. We can hear them in the distance making their way towards us on what is sure to be the final lap of this particular session. But they are some way back as well, so we'll be interested to see, can Owen Monaghan extend that advantage he's got in the timings at the moment? Can Barry Davidson possibly claw a little bit back? Of course, it is the opening session. They're just dialing everything in. Back to you, Tim.
Well, I can tell you that he has dialed it back. Barry Davidson, he's gone top of the charts. Number 40, a last lap there of 78.885 miles per hour, goes ahead of number 16, Owen Monaghan, who's at 78.289. There's half a second between outfit number 40, Davidson, and 16, Monaghan. Checkered flag is well out now. So third is 57, Ewan Hamilton at 71.178. So those front two are way out in front. Fourth is number 12, Richard Ford. Fifth is number 15, Bob Doughty. Sixth is 34, Billy Cummins. Seventh is number 73, and that is Fazenaga. Eighth is number 10, Andy Hunt. Ninth is number 94, Terence Sansom. 10th is number 70, Jeff Bates. 11th is number 76, Roy Phipps. And then we've had number 4, Mike Hose, and 106, Dave Ruff, who've not managed to return times. So that is the situation. Davidson then going quickest on lap 4 to overhaul Monaghan's lap 3 time by half a second. Here's another machine into view. Where's he going to fit in? That's number 57. Just confirmed there, 57, Ewan Hamilton remains in third place. His best lap was the third of the 4 laps at 71.178 miles per hour. So we look up the road, another machine does emerge. I think this is Jeff Bates, number 70, indeed it is. Down in 10th position. That's his quickest lap though, his third completed lap, at 55.974 miles per hour, and he finishes in 10th. Here's a further 2 machines now. First is number 15, he's up into 4th, is Doughty, and up into 5th is Fazenaga, the Belgian newcomer here, number 73 in 5th. So a quickest lap for him on the last lap of 69.288. Billy Cummins is through there, number 34 and 6th, and his quickest lap at 68.583. But Doughty, Bob Doughty, is up into 4th, number 15, a fastest lap on that last 4th lap at 69.942. So it's Davidson, Monaghan, Hamilton, Doughty, Fazenaga, Cummins, Ford, Hunt, Sansom, Bates, and Phipps with the recorded time, 76 Roy Phipps. The 2 laps, second was quickest at 48.634 before he called it a day. So that is the full leaderboard for that latest session that we've had, the Lightweight Classic and the 125 Post Classics. It's now time to set up the Junior Classic, and to do that, let's head to Chris Kinley.
Thank you very much. Yeah, the blue plated machines are making the way down here now for the Vintage Motorcycle Club Isle of Man Section 350 Junior Classic Race. Number 32, number 3 going past us, Mark Johnson. 32 and 72, 32 Kelly Carruthers. 72 Shelley Pike. 21, of course, is Will Loader. And Tim, just for your notes, my old chip, if you wouldn't mind, Ashley Robson is a lady, by the way, not a chap. So Ashley Robson is a lady, not a chap. 63 is Angela Cragg. Good to see Angela back here again. Oh, is a very, very smartly turned out machine. Angela's on the little Norton there. 47 and 99. 99 just having a few problems getting the machine fired. That's Richard Coley, the newcomer on the BSA Gold Star from Walsall. Very dark down here now, very dark. Still got a few more sessions to go. The gates will be open. We'll be underway again in a moment. Number 9, Chris McGahn, the evergreen Chris McGahn. He won't mind me saying that about him. Previous winner here many times, Paul van der Berg, Hales Honda. The Peel rider. Here we go. Machines on the circuit. Wow, what a noise. You can feel the ground shake. I say it every year, but it just amazes me. All these little machines just make your feet tremble. 34 is next to go. 34 is Billy Cummins on the K4. It looks lovely. If you get a close-up of that machine, the decorator on the side of it. Lovely, lovely K4 Honda. 66, Robert Noyle. Hopefully you're picking up the good sounds on the BSA Gold Star. 17 here, the dry clutcher, the Drixton Air Mackie, Andy Guy on that machine. And 37 in there, Ben Smith. 64 is next to go on the little Honda. 64 is Garth Woods on the K4 Honda. He's, of course, where's Garth? Oh, yeah, some great Harwood. So there we go, the noise. We just got a problem here with number 10. Just can't get the machine fired up. That's Andy Hunt on the Sebring Ducati from Ellie. Just going to take it down to the Roland Road and hopefully get that machine fired up. So hopefully you'll get that machine sorted out on number 10. But let's get to cross four ways. First lap.
Yeah, some notable performances in this class last year. Yes, Will Loader was the race winner, but a couple maybe to watch out for in this class across the course of the weekend. Number 84, Nigel Moore. Don't forget, on the John Reed machine, finished second. Number 7, Harley Rushton, who we heard was a retirement to the previous session as well, so that's going to be a quick turnaround for Rushton to be making it out there. But also, we just heard there who's having maybe a bit of mechanical trouble getting out of the paddock there. Andy Hunt as well also went well last year. Another one of those. Kelly Carruthers, another is on the VMCC Somerset machine, the Honda 350 as well. So there are quite a few to watch out for in this particular class if they're able to get things in shape in this dreary session that we've had in terms of the weather. It is actually it's a real to all those riders and teams for getting things prepared and being able to get out there, and of course to all the officials as well. Despite the horrid conditions, we've been able to get some qualifying taking place, but we are of course keeping an eye on the situation with regards to the light, aren't we? It really is dropping at the moment. Here's your first machine on the road. That is number 32, Kelly Carruthers. What a noise that was when Chris Kinley was in the paddock before you. Right, you can feel the reverberations through the microphone. There is last year's race winner, number 21, Will Loader. So your first two machines in the order, Kelly Carruthers, number 32, number 21, Will Loader. Two more interview. There's numbers 3 and 92, so Mark Johnson and Stephen Walsh. Then there's number 1, Joe Yeardsley, number 108 and 2 as well, so Michael Titchmarsh and Alan Oversby, another previous winner in this class. Number 72 is the latest new, that's Shally Pike. Numbers 84, 7 and 69. So at the back of that group is Gary Abbott. In there we did mention before, Harley Rushton, who did well last year in this particular class. Number 89, Rob Lowe, is the latest through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the way through now. At the back of that particular group, not even any time for numbers there, was number 59, Andy Kildee, but a lot of traffic through cross four ways. 17, 53 and 34 on the way through well. So that's Billy Cummins at the back of that particular trio, the man from Ramsey. So plenty of machines out on course, close together, particularly in the last couple of moments on their way through. Here's number 4, Mike Hose, on the way through. In behind there on this opening lap is number 66. That's Robert Noyle on the BSA Gold Star, that very distinctive sound that Chris Kinley pointed out before as well. Numbers 80 and 37 the next two, Benjamin Smith, and in front of him is Danny Cullen on the Murden Ducati as well. Back to you, Tim.
That was the sound of number 1, Joe Yeardsley. So through 32, Kelly Carruthers, 21, Will Loader, 1, Joe Yeardsley, 3, Mark Johnson, 2, Alan Oversby, 108, Michael Titchmarsh, 92, Stephen Walsh, 84, Nigel Moore, number 7, Harley Rushton, 72, Shally Pike, 69, Gary Abbott, 89, Rob Lowe, 9, Chris McGahn, 11, Stephen Elliott, 59, Andy Kildare, 20, Gary Hutton, 17, Andrew Guy, 63, Angela Cragg, 99 Robert Coley, the newcomer, 53 Ian Thompson, and 34 Billy Cummins. So 21 machines have gone past us here on the start finish. There's more to come though. Next interview, it's so hard to make the numbers out now. 66 that is. So that's Robert Noyle. And number 4 looks like it could be another retirement for Mike Hose. Let's go back to Robert Cross Fourways.
Well, if indeed it is a retirement for Mike Hose, that might explain why he seemed to be going a little more gingerly than usual towards Cross Fourways. Maybe there was a bit of a mechanical problem going on there on the way round the course there. So maybe indeed that is the end of the session for Mike Hose there. First 2 machines interview. Number 32, Kelly Carruthers. Number 21, Will Loader, who's just made a little bit of ground on the road in behind Kelly Carruthers there. So Will Loader maybe picking up the pace a little bit. And now coming through, number 1, Joe Yeardsley, who really has stolen a march on the traffic in behind. Joe Yeardsley's made up some serious ground on this first flying lap. There's number 2, Alan Oversby. Alan Oversby going steadily a couple of seconds behind Joe Yeardsley as well. Joe Yeardsley, that may be one time to watch out for. He's freed himself from the traffic in behind as number 108, Michael Titchmarsh on the way through. Numbers 3 and 8 was Mark Johnson and Nigel Moore. Number 7, Harley Rushton, and number 92, Stephen Walsh there. So Harley Rushton, another name we picked up before, he's still caught up in a little bit of the traffic in and around him as well, and they're not slowing down either. So Harley Rushton, if wants to get a little bit ahead of that traffic in front of him, maybe just has to open the taps a little bit more. But number 1, Joe Yeardsley, seems to have made up some real ground on that machine, the Rutter Honda. Wait to see how he does there. Numbers 72 and 9 on the way through there, the latest. Number 11, Stephen Elliott. Numbers 59 and 89. This is a big group of machines that were out there on that opening lap as well. Numbers 20 and 17. So that's Andrew Guy following Gary Hutton. Back to you, Tim.
Yeah, it's a little bit of guesswork. I think I saw a machine on the bridge. It's so dark looking up that way. Let's see them across. So first of those was 21 Will Loader, 75.329 miles per hour. Then it was Carruthers at 71. But quickest 76.5. There's number 2 Alan Oversby ahead of number 21 Will Loader and 32 Kelly Carruthers. Another machine into view. That was 108 Michael Titchmarsh. So it does still Oversby at the top. Then it's 21 Loader, then 7 Harley Rushton, 84 Nigel Moore, 108 Michael Titchmarsh, 32 Kelly Carruthers, 92 Stephen Walsh, and 3 Mark Johnson in 8th. More machines into view. This is number 9. And 11, 59, 89. And a hand up from number 72, that's Shelley Pike. I think she will be a retirement there. So nobody is from that gaggle of riders has got into the topper echelons here. But let's have a listen to these 2 machines. And 2 more. 3-minute board is up, so Oversby quickest. 76.500 miles per hour ahead of 21 Will Loader at 75.329. Third is number 7 Harley Rushton. Then it's Moore, Titchmarsh and Carruthers. Let's go back to Rob across Fourways.
Yeah, one of those you mentioned there, Michael Titchmarsh. That's a good running out there so far in this qualifying session. Stationary yellow flags out here at Cross Fourways on this lap. Who's the latest through? That's number 21 Will Loader. Pulling a bit of a gap on the machines in behind there. So there's Will Loader through Cross Fourways. Next through is that pace setter, number 2, Alan Oversby. So the first 2 machines on the way through. Alan Oversby following in behind number 21, Will Loader as well. Going nice and steady there. Next through is number 32, Kelly Carruthers as well. Oversby managed to get past Kelly Carruthers on the last lap or so as well. So now seems to be catching Will Loader on the road. 3 more through. There is Titchmarsh. And there is number 7, Harley Rushton, number 84, Nigel Moore. 3 certainly to keep an eye on in this session. All 3 of them are going well time-wise at the moment as well. certainly picking up the pace as this session has gone on. There is number 3, another one running well, is Mark Johnson. Followed a couple of seconds back here by number 92, that's Stephen Walsh. So that is your first scutch of machines through Cross Four Ways on this latest qualifying lap. So the order on the road towards the front was Will Loader, then number 2, Alan Oversby, who seems to be making up more ground as well. Then followed by number 84, Nigel Moore, and Harley Rushton. Part of the group was on number 7. Here's number 9, Chris McGahn. Followed closely by number 11, Stephen Elliott, who's maybe making up a little more ground. And there's number 59 also. That's Andy Kildee. Back to you, Tim.
Yeah, it is difficult to see because, of course, these classic riders, a lot of them do wear the black leathers. Here is the first machine. It's Will Loader. And there's Oversby. He's gone quicker at 76.733. The 1 minute board is out. Will Loader didn't improve on his second lap on that third circuit. Here, 75.329. A difference of around 4 seconds between them. Number 7, Harley Rushton, has gone ahead of Loader into second quickest at 76.121. And, well, he's less than half a second down on Oversby. Terrific lap there by number 7, Harley Rushton. Quickest lap there by Mark Johnson as the checkered flag now waves. Here he's 7th at 70.742. But Michael Titchmarsh has moved up into 4th, 108, the bike number. 74.790 on that third lap, and he will have a chance if he wishes to improve on that on a fourth lap. 3 machines all switching off the gas as they cross the line. They were Andy Kildare, Stephen Elliott and Chris McGahn. So Oversby then, just less than half a second it is ahead of number 7, Harley Rushton. Then it's Loader, number 21, 108 Titchmarsh, 84 Moore, 59 Kildare, 32 Kelly Carruthers is 7th, 8th is number 11 Stephen Elliott, 9th is number 3, that is Mark Johnson, 10th number 17 Andrew Guy, 11th number 9 Chris McGahn, 12th number 20 Gary Hutton. Let's go out to Cross Four Ways and Rob Pritchard.
Yeah, so a fourth and what appears to be a final qualifying lap for this particular session. So it'll be interesting with a few more machines coming in as well. We've just got a couple more towards the back of the order here. Number 66, Robert Noyle. Number 80 is Danny Pullen. Number 37. There's number 2, Alan Oversby, who's now ahead of number 21, Will Loader on the road, but they do have traffic in front of them as well. So that might just hamper lap times possibly for the 2 of those who are pushing for the top times this evening in this class as well. Alan Oversby, as you say, leading the way there, but the 2 of them just catching the traffic in behind them as well. Another one having to negotiate his way through, number 7, Harley Rushton, and he's just in behind, around 3 bike lengths back from number 108, Michael Titchmarsh, who's going extremely well, as we've already heard himself. So he's not going to make it... he's not just going to allow Harley Rushton on the way through traffic-wise, is he? So, yeah, interesting to see there. Oversby ahead of Will Loader on the road, but both of them now sort of finding themselves behind traffic at Cross Four Ways. If they can navigate that towards the latter stages, we'll see. There's number 3, Mark Johnson. Mark Johnson in the top 10, as we heard there before from Tim Glover as well. So Loader and Oversby out at the front of the order, but they were just catching up in behind. It was Danny Pullen and Robert Noyle as well on their previous lap as well. Harley Rushton as well was just catching up with Titchmarsh. To you, Tim.
Thank you very much. Yes, another machine spotted on the bridge and coming down over School Hill Rise. It is the number 2 outfit of Oversby. He hasn't gone quicker on his 4th circuit round here. It's that third lap, 76.733. Will Loader safely back, and he has gone quickest on lap 2 it was of his 4. And Harley Rushton has gone ahead of Loader, as has Michael Titchmarsh on that last lap. Harley Rushton, number 7, into second place behind Oversby, and 76.157 miles per hour for him, and Titchmarsh 75.926 miles per hour on his last lap. Loader then, number 21, is 4th. 5th, number 84, Nigel Moore. There is bike number 3 just going through. He's jumped up into 6th place there with the quickest lap at 72.490 miles per hour. 7th, number 59, Andy Kildare at 71.310 miles per hour. 8th, number 32, Kelly Carruthers at 71.207. 9th, number 11, Stephen Elliott. 10th, number 17, Andrew Guy. 11th, number 9, Chris McGahn. 12th, number 20, that's Gary Hutton. 13th, number 92, Stephen Walsh. 14th, number 89, Rob Lowe. 15th, number 34, Billy Cummins. 16th, number 53, Ian Thompson. 17th is number 63, Angela Cragg. 18th, the newcomer, number 99, Robert Coley. 19th, number 72, Shelley Pike. 20th, number 69, Gary Abbott. 21st, number 37, Benjamin Smith. 22nd, number 80, that's Danny Pullen. And 23rd, number 66, and that is Robert Noyles. So Oversby quickest, 3 minutes 19.392 seconds compared to Rushton, number 7, at 3 minutes 20.9. Titchmarsh's best time, I'll have to not give you that because the screen has just updated itself. We are running about 10 or so minutes ahead of a schedule. So I think the organisers are wanting to get everybody out and done and loosened up a little bit, and they'll have to dry out overnight. And hopefully the weather forecast for tomorrow, we could get drier conditions hopefully in the afternoon, but the forecast for the evening doesn't look too promising. So next out it will be the senior superbikes, and it's 31 minutes past 8 or 29 minutes to 9. They were due to go out at 8:46 p.m. to 8:58, so that just gives you an indication of how things have gone. And our 2 spectators has been there throughout the evening, the only 2 spectators on the stand at the start finish, and they didn't have a brolly up as well, fair credit to them, have now left, so nobody is there on the grandstand, the IFGL grandstand, and the Southern 100 catering van, which hasn't done the best of night's business, it has to be said, on this miserable evening, has now shut up shop for the night. So, without further ado, as this is the first of the 2-wheelers, so we've got the 3-wheelers still to come. 2-wheelers are making their way into the presence of Chris Kinley.
Try not to sneeze when I came on air then. Damn, can't be doing that. Number 18 coming towards us, 18. Is Andy Saylor, of course, on the ZXR 750. Seems to be the weapon of choice. Number 0, is that the right thing to say? It's Andy Hornby on the 750 Kawasaki. 45, you can see that as Andy Farrell, it is. Good to see Andy from the Skerries here as well. Andy, lovely to see you. The leathers look good too. Proper Ducati leathers going on there. There's also another Ducati I spotted before. A little 748. Number 122, Israel Gillette on that machine. Look out for that one, the 748. Wasn't a Hesneel champion for the Andreas Club on number 85. And there's my old mate Crofty giving us a kiss. Good lad, Crofty, nice to see you. And also 102 in there as well. Tell you what, this is a big old field of these big classic bikes, isn't it? There's, I think, a man to look out for on this one. He's got that machine sorted now. From Hetton-le-Hole, that's Keith Pringle on the 83 machine. Number 12, we can see that out again, Richie Ford. 48 also in there as well. They want to get going because they want these things just to overheat. The gate will be open there very, very shortly for the final solo session of the evening. We've probably got about, it's a full field anyway, but 48, we'll give them a mention. It's Mike Bampton on the Mistral Racing 750 from Ormskirk. And the course cars are just going past Tim now, just been told. Number 6 is Adi Harrison on the ZXR 750, the Bradford rider, of course, their brother of Dean and son of Conrad, who's there right beside us. You're right, Conrad?
It's not a nice night, Mr. Kinley. We've been basking in the sun for the last 6 weeks, as you know.
Good lad, Conrad. Nice to speak to you, bud. Good lad. Conrad will be keeping an eye on the sidecars a bit later on. Conrad, of course, now a resident here on our island, so we'll let him in. He's not a bad lad, really. And 33, Chris Moore on the DRF Services, Silver Star Services machine, the 750 Kawasaki again, and the big bikes. The ugly post-classic senior superbikes are now out on the circuit. These things, looking at the tyre situation, if you're not on wets, well, what you're doing really, to be fair, I think, yeah, everybody looks like they're on wet. It says Roger Wibbly on number 60. Good lad, Roger. Good to see him back on there. You see the Merlin sidecar sticker on the side of his Hell Crashmet. And number 77 there is Neil Rutledge on a 750 S-Rad. Suzuki like the S-Rad with a seat hump on it. Two of them going at the back there, Roger Wibbly and him there, excuse me, Neil Rutledge. So that's it. Everybody's away for the final solo session, and those rear lights are really, really, really bright now. It is dark here. Time is moving on, but like you said, Tim, we are slightly ahead of schedule. Final solos making their way round the 4 1/4 Billown course. Let's go to Rob.
Ahead of the schedule, despite the conditions. They're not messing around, are they, the Southern 100 Club? They know how to move things on swiftly and professionally, as we can hear those machines starting to make their way towards us on this first lap. Interestingly, again, just coming back to the conditions, it seems to be the ultimate talking point this evening for good reason. Between the sessions there, just after the previous session ended and before machines came out onto the course here, you could just see the marshals here at Cross Four Ways just trying to sweep away some of that standing water that had started to appear both on this near side to where I'm stood on the scaffolding in front of the pavements on that side, and also on that outside line. It was just after one of the inspection cars came through that it seemed to throw up a little bit of spray, and that seemed to be the prompt just to start sweeping the water into the drains, and that seems to have done everything for the time being that they need to do as well. So a bit of standing water was developing, but it's been well dealt with by the team over here. If we're talking about the light again, here's another reference point for you for just how dark it is getting. The street lighting came on here at Cross Four Ways around 20 to 25 minutes ago, so that maybe gives you an indication as to the light we have. But the organisers and those riders, they're getting every last ounce they can out of this qualifying session. We only have 3 days, of course, to combine qualifying and racing here on the Billown course for this weekend. First two machines on the road then for this session. That's number 68 and 22, Roddy Taylor. And also 4 more coming through here. Numbers 96, 4, 18 and 88. Only time for numbers with that group. There's number 0, Andy Hornby. Number 32, Kelly Carruthers, who, as we heard, went well in that previous session on the 350s. Number 100 and number 45 as well. So Andrew Farrell just in behind Heffernan Owen. 52, 44, 26, 85, 102. It is a big field, this one. Number 31, Colin Croft, is there at the back of that group. There's number 46 as well. That's Emmett Burke. Number 83 on the way through, Keith Pringle. Numbers 12, 33 and 93. 3 more as well, 48, 77. And number 6 is Adrian Harrison. And breathe. But it is a big field, as Chris Kinley pointed out there. So plenty of machines out there as well. They'll have to try and negotiate that traffic a little bit if they want to get the best out of those lap times as well. They'll also be, as we've heard, trying to get a bit of a shift on as well. Try and get as many laps and as many miles out there as they can this evening. To you, Tim.
Yeah, a lot of Kawasaki's, some Suzuki's, Ducatis, Hondas. Let's listen to them across the line. That was Roddy Taylor and Israel Gillette on that Ducati. Mike Hose through. There's Sailor. .45 there just through, and that's one of the second Ducati, the CK Racing version. Andrew Farrell on that. So we've had Sailor, Crook, Donaghy, Hornby, Carruthers, Farrell, Thompson, Owen Avis, Champion, Booth, Croft and Clark through. Another machine to interview now, 3-4. So Emmett Burke, Keith Pringle, Richard Ford, Rob Mitchell-Hill, Michael Bampton, Adrian Harrison and Neil Rutledge all through. No street lights on as yet here on the Castletown bypass, but it's certainly dark enough for them to be on and can act more like floodlighting for us here. It's getting so dark. But most of the machinery is through, and just Paul Turner there on the 750 Suzuki he is mounted on, but Hornby is Kawasaki, Yeardsley Kawasaki, Hose Kawasaki, Cassidy Suzuki, Kawasaki again for Harrison, Suzuki for Richard Ford, and De Koppel down on the Suzuki, and Sailor Kawasaki seems to be, as Chris Kinley said, the machine of choice. Let's go to Rob Pritchard.
Yeah, if you want a specific number, 15 of the machines out there are some form of iteration of the 750 Kawasaki. Tells you how popular it is in this field, continues to be as well. So here we go, first flying lap through cross four ways, one machine into view here. And that is number 68, Roddy Taylor, who's pulled up a little bit of a gap to the machines in behind. 1, 2, 2, 4, 18 and 0. Andy Hornby, we heard, was on the way through, potentially quickest on that sighting lap. Number 45 there is Andrew Farrell. Numbers 96, 44, 88 and 32. We do have a machine pulling in here, just coming to a stop. That's Damien Crook, has just pulled over at cross four ways. Number 100 and 102, and then there's number 85, number 26, that's Dennis Booth, the Booth Racing Machine. Number 31, Colin Croft as well there. So there is a bit of a bunching up going on towards the front of the order on the road as well, so it'll be interesting to see how those times reflect that. Number 33 on the way through, Chris Moore. Big scutch of machines here. 52, 46, 12, 83, 93, and then 48, 77 and 6. Adrian Harrison once again backing up that particular group, and a lot of machines there in that particular gaggle that make their way through cross four ways. It's still a busy field out there. It looks like it's set to be for this flying lap. Back to you, Tim.
Yep, just seen one machine and then a gaggle on the bridge. There's number 68, Roddy Taylor. 4 more, 5 interview. Hose led, then it was Farrell, then it was Hornby, then it was Thompson slotting into second. It's chopping and changing all the time at the top. We'll give you the details in a moment. But there's Carruthers, Wayne Avis up into 7th, and also through Donaghy, and number 122 on that Ducati, Israel Gillette. Booth is up into 6th, number 26. So it's 45, Andrew Farrell, 82.695 miles per hour. 44, Grant Thompson is second at 82.406, and there's just over half a second between the two of them. Third is number 0, Andy Hornby at 80.703 miles per hour. Fourth is number 18, terrific action lower down the order there. Fourth, 18, Andy Saylor, 79.715 miles per hour. Fifth, number 4, Mike Hose. Sixth is 26, Dennis Booth. 7th is number 68, Roddy Taylor. 8th, number 102, Wayne Avis. 9th, number 33, Chris Moore. 10th, number 85, Neil Champion. 11th, 32, Kelly Carruthers. 12th, number 31, and 31 is Colin Croft, but it's Farrell just quicker than Thompson. 45 ahead of 44. Both over 82 miles per hour. Let's go to cross four ways and Rob Pritchard.
Yeah, before we welcome the front of the order for this latest lap, we did mention the number 96, Damien Crook, had stopped across four ways. It seems that he was able to get back out on course again, so maybe just a couple of adjustments here at cross four ways before moving back on his way for the latter stages of that lap. So here we go, first machines on the road for this qualifying lap. It is close, as Tim's been mentioning on the times. Number 68, Roddy Taylor's pulled out a bit of a gap to the rest of the machines in behind. 4 here, there's 45, 4, 0 and 44 close together in that order. Then there's number 18, that's Andy Saylor. So that group's still close together on the way through cross four ways on this lap. Number 122, Israel Gillette on the Ducati, the rider from Jonesborough. 3 more emerging into the gloom here. And at the head of that group is number 88, that's Leon Donaghy. 32 and 102 on the way through. Kelly Carruthers as one of those, and 85 as well. There's Neil Champion. Number 100, Heffernan Owen. Number 26, Dennis Booth, and number 31, Colin Croft. So towards the front of the order there, it is worth noting there that number 68, Roddy Taylor, had opened up a little bit to the traffic in behind, which has included some of those front runners on this qualifying session. Number 83, number 33, Chris Moore. Number 12, Richard Ford. Number 77, back to you, Tim.
2-minute board is now being displayed. It's just gone out. Here's the first machine into view and the second. 68 Roddy Taylor, but 45 Andrew Farrell. Well, he's gone quicker, but Grant Thompson has gone even quicker, number 44. He goes into provisional pole. Thompson, 84.691 compared to Farrell, 45 in second at 84.495. There's a cigarette paper between them. Third is number 0, Andy Hornby at 82.478. Fourth is number 4, Mike Hose. Let's let you have a listen to these machines. So Mike Hose is fourth. Fifth, number 68, Roddy Taylor. Sixth is number 18, Andy Saylor. Seventh, number 26, Dennis Booth. Eighth, number 102, that's Wayne Avis. Up into ninth, just through there, is Keith Pringle. Number 83 as the minute board is now being displayed. That means a minute until the checkered flag is waved and this session is brought to a close. That's Adrian Harrison through. He's down in 18th, bike number 6. Michael Bampton through. He's in 20th position, number 48. And 96, Damien Crook, is 21st, going at 76.071 miles an hour. So it's Thompson, 84.691, ahead of Farrell at 84.495 miles per hour. In third, it's Andy Hornby. Then it's Mike Hose, Roddy Taylor and Andy Saylor. Thompson, 3 minutes, 0.657 and 3 minutes, 1.076 for Farrell. Very tight, Rob Pritchard.
It is, and that's impressive speed considering the traffic we had. We did have another rider pull over here and then move on again across 4 ways. We'll come to that in a moment. There's number 44, Grant Thompson ahead. Number 45, Farrell on the road. Number 68, Roddy Taylor's now been caught by that trio, which also includes number 0, Andy Hornby. Number 4, Mike Hose, just dropping a second or two back there, followed by number 18, Michael Bampton. So Roddy Taylor, who'd led the field on the road, has been caught quite swiftly on this latest lap. Grant Thompson now leads on the road ahead of number 45, Andrew Farrell. Great battle for the qualifying times between those two. Number 122, Israel Gillette, comes through as well. Who's the latest into here? That's number 102 coming down into cross 4 ways. But we did have number 33, Chris Moore, pulled over here for just a few moments. And rather than it seem to be anything mechanical, it looked like it was a potential visor problem, a visibility thing. There's numbers 88, 26, 32 in order, 85, 100 and 31 come through cross 4 ways as well. So maybe just visibility a bit of a problem. We saw one of the travelling marshals giving a bit of a helping hand just to try and wipe the visor. So maybe just with all the rain that's been swirling around, visibility getting poorer. Back to you, Tim.
It certainly is. As two machines into view, checkered flag is out, 44 and 45. Thompson's gone quicker again, 85.571 for Thompson on that last lap. Farrell quickest on lap 3, so it remains at 84.495. And Thompson below the 3 minutes, 2 minutes 58.799 seconds, compared to Farrell at 3 minutes 1.076 seconds. Andy Hornby went quickest on his final lap, stays in third at 83.696 miles per hour. Mike Hose, well, he was quickest on his third of 4 laps. He's fourth. And Mike Hose, 81.952 on that N&H Racing Kawasaki. Fifth is number 68, Roddy Taylor. Sixth, number 102, Wayne Avis. They're all over the 81 mile per hour barrier, as is seventh, number 18, Andy Saylor. Eighth, number 122, Israel Gillette. He's at 80.313. Ninth, number 26, Dennis Booth. 10th, number 31, Colin Croft. 11th, number 83, Keith Pringle. 12th, number 33, Chris Moore. 13th, number 100, Heaven Owen. 14th is 77, Neil Rutledge. 15th is number 85, Neil Champion. 16th, number 12, Richard Ford. 17th was number 32, Kelly Carruthers. 18th, number 96, Damien Crook. Fastest on that last lap at 76.586 miles per hour. 19th, number 48, Michael Bampton. 20th, number 6, Adrian Harrison. 21st, number 88, Leon Donaghy. 22nd, number 46, Emmett Burke. Then it's 93 Rob Mitchell-Hill. He is in 23rd and 24th. Sorry, we're not going to be able to bring you that. The screen just went as we looked to 24th position, and that was the one remaining rider. The checkered flag are still out. So that is the end of the solo action on this very damp Friday evening. After all the dry weather, we get the first major downpour for a month, and one of only two in probably the last 3 months. It's been very, very dry over the spring and warm. There you go, I've said it already. That's what people are going to be telling our visitors right throughout the next fortnight. Well, we should have some three-wheeling action next, because as the time comes up to 10 to 9, here on Manx Radio Motorsport, brought to you by Kawasaki Insurance. We have the Sidecar Classic. That's brought to us by, a mixture of sponsors, actually. The first race, race 4, which will be on Saturday evening, is MC Locksmiths, and then the final race on Sunday afternoon to conclude the meeting is brought to you by Cheesden Rentals. So two different sponsors for the two sidecar races. And one of the big questions, and we'll no doubt be hearing from Chris Kinley as to whether he's there or not, is Dave Molyneux going to be there on the start line along with Dan Sale? I had somebody mention that Molly could potentially have an injury, but I haven't had that confirmed or anything. So I'm curious to see whether he is starting there in that Andres Sulby partnership. We've got Eddie Wright and Trevor Johnson on that BMW, the AMC BMW, the Saxton and Rochester partnership there. Another former winner in Danny Quirk. He's alongside Sharon Rees there on the Bellas Vincent. A pairing driver from Halifax and passenger from Chesterfield. And then we've got a whole host of newcomers, Sepp Knoll and Kobe de Hoek. They are on a BMW R100 Neela. Mike Cookson and Indy de Koppel are there as well. And I do believe, in fact, that the three-wheelers, the sidecars, are making their way down to the holding area. So let's join Chris Kinley.
Yeah, you mentioned Indy de Koppel there. Good to see Indy here, but he's on a sidecar for the first time with number 23, Mike Cookson. And I don't think we will be seeing Dave Molyneux. We've already seen Dan Sale out on the 250 machine and the 125 a little bit earlier on, as 24 goes past us there. Tony Thurkill and William Morley. 46 alongside us there, Andy Nourish and Rob Child. They're about to go, 56 and 51. They're getting into their position. 56, Marvin Vermeulen and Tony Klinker on their Vermeulen Triumph. Number 69, that of course the irrepressible and very enthusiastic for the sidecar world, Greg Lambert and Andy Haynes on their little imp that they've got. Good to see the boys back again. Number 11, as you mentioned there, he'll go well here. He will. Danny Quirk, as the paperwork gets even wetter, as the heavy spots of rain just start to hit down here again a little bit anyway. Number 11 there, Danny Quirk. Sharon Reeves, 64 and 67, they now roll to the line as well. 64, Dewan Christian, a very Manx sounding name, Dewan Christian, isn't it? And they're Julie Hardesty, their newcomers on their 745 Norton. Just behind them is 67. 67 is Alan Warner and Tom Dawkins on their BMW from Peel, and of course Biggin Hill. And still they come, number 30, 66 and 29. 29, Adam Pope and John Christopher. Now, keep an eye on this machine. It's not what they call an old Neela sidecar, as the sidecars are now out on the circuit. It is one of those, how should we say, sit up and beg sort of sidecars. You can see there with number 29. I think he's all right to go. He is. And he's got number 30 just ahead of him there. Number 30 is Kenny Howells. Kenny, of course, great to see Kenny back here again. And Rob Cobbock there on the 750 Ison Suzuki GT. So that'll be a kettle version of that one. Hear this go by. Give you the noise on this one. Kenny will be taking it nice and steady. Have a listen to this. just having a few problems, unfortunately, is Ken at the moment. So 66 is going to have to go round him. Albert Criffpill and Elisa Piltz from Salzburg. So number 30 just having a few problems, Kenny is. So for his crew, if they've got a little earpiece on, they're trying to listen out. Number 30 has a problem, and the Suzuki just will not fire, so they're going to have to try and push it back. It's obviously the two-stroke, so none of this getting it back on the compression and then firing up. It's going to have to push and then just do the old bumpy thing. So the marshals, as usual, down here at the Southern 100, the Orange Army have been holding a helping hand. Let's have a listen. Oh, thought about it just for a second there. I don't think it's going to go. And they're now getting to where the hill is that pushes you up towards Ballachagan. So we have to push it back again and try that. But we'll go to Rob. We'd only miss the sidecars too there on lap number 1. And I'll keep Tim updated if Kenny Howells does get going. Rob.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. So as we await those sidecar outfits, they've had to wait a long time this evening, had to wait through a lot of weather like everyone else, and with the light fading as well, but to get some time and some distance out on the Billown course as well, but we can hear them in the distance. Be interesting to see who might come out on top this year in the sidecar side of things. We've mentioned Danny Quirk and Sharon Reeves, winners of the Classic Sidecar Race 2 last year. We've just heard as well that number 30, Kenny Howells and Rob Coppock, have actually managed to make their way out of the paddock area as well, so they have managed to get that machine going and are heading out on course as well. So good to hear they've got that Ireson Suzuki on the way around the Billown course for this qualifying session. But of course, one of our previous winners from last year is not going to be involved. The pairing of Jack Griswood and Alice Smith, the winners of the first race. Alice Smith will be making her Isle of Man TT Races debut over the next 2 weeks as passenger to Maria Costello. So good luck to Alice and the team there. First on the road is Tony Thurkel and William Morley, followed by number 46, Andy Nourish and Rob Child as well. First two on the road on this opening sidecar lap. Following behind them is number 56, Marvin Vermeulen and Troy Klinker. So those are your first machines through. Then there's a little bit of a gap, but we can see a couple more sidecar outfits emerging in the distance. 3 to be precise as they make their way to cross 4 ways on this opening lap. There's numbers 51, 21 and 69 as well. So Cobus Baumann and Nikolai Klinker, Sepp Noel and Kobe de Hook, and number 69, Greg Lambert and Andrew Haynes on the way through. There are last year's winners. Number 11, Danny Quirk and Sharon Reeves on this opening lap. And number 64, Julian Christian and Julie Hardesty, both newcomers on their Norton, the Folkingham pairing. Driver and passenger out there for the first time in this particular session as well. 2 more into the distance. And making their way towards us is number 67. So there is Alan Warner and Tom Dawkins. And number 29 on that Westlake Triton, the sit-up and beg, is Adam Pope and John Christopher as well. Then there's the Austrian pairing. It's Kröpel and Piltz on the way through as well. Kirby and W, it's hard to miss that one. So those are your sidecar outfits through. Back to you, Tim.
Here's the leader on the road. So we had number 24, that's Tony Thurkel and William Morley through first. Then it was 46, that's Andy Norris and Rob Child. And then 56 being Marvin Vermeulen and Troy Klinker. Another machine, 69 interview. That, of course, is Greg Lambert and Andrew Haynes. 2 more. 21. Is safely through. That's Sepp Noel and Kobe de Hook. And also through was 51. 51 being Cobus Bowman and Nikolai Klinker. 11 through. Former winner, of course, Danny Quirk and Sharon Reeves, the Halifax and Chesterfield combination. So 7 machines are through. No times, of course, recorded. Just while I was looking at the programme and checking on the names, a car in the car park behind the stand. Obviously, they'd just opened it and the hazard lights went off. And my goodness, you could see that out the corner of your eye as clear as anything. It's so dark out there now. 67, Alan Warner and Tony Dawkins are through, as are number 29. That's Adam Pope and John Christopher on the Triton Westlake there. Another machine interview is 66. And 66 is Albert Crowfell and Elisa Pills. Quite spread out now are these machines. That it was outfit 24 that was first. That's Tony Thurkle and William Morley. Will they still be in that order when they get to cross four ways? Let's find out from Rob Pritchard.
Yeah, we're waiting to see. We did, and if you missed it before, and we heard from Chris Kinley that Kenny Howells was struggling to get the machine going. If you did miss it a few moments ago, they did get the machine going, and they did actually make their way past us here at Cross Four Ways as well in the last few moments. So although they are much further back in the order, they are out and circulating around the Billown course for this qualifying session. So let's see, well, we wait to see what is the order going to be on the road on this opening, I should say, first qualifying lap, I should say, after that sighter. It is Thurkle and Morley, the number 24 outfit, followed very closely by number 46, Andy Nourish and Rob Child. A couple of seconds further back is number 56, Marvin Vermeulen, and newcomer passenger Troy Clinker as well. So, number 24, Tony Thurkle and William Morley on their BMW. They're out front as number 69, Greg Lambert and Andrew Haynes make their way through as well through Cross Four Ways, but only just ahead of number 46, Andy Nourish and Rob Child as well. So that Nourish Westlake certainly keeping pace at the moment with the first crew out on the road in Thurkle and Morley. Latest into Cross Four Ways is number 21, Sep Noel and Kobe de Hook as well, the Vassenaar and Kulkerke pairing. And then there's a little bit of a gap further back, so the field just starting to spread out a little bit more, barring those front two, of course. And there's number 51, Cobus Booman and Nikolai Clinker on the way through. Duo from Barneveld. And number 11, Danny Quirk and Sharon Reeves as well on the way through Cross Four Ways. You can see the spray just starting to lift up a little bit again as they take that outside line on the move into Cross Four Ways and then onto the exit as well. So the rain starting to just build up a little more standing water again as they go onto this first qualifying lap. So just a reminder then, first on the road, Thurkle and Morley. Back to you, Tim.
Yeah, well, just seen an outfit only just crossing the railway bridge. Two outfits, in fact, now into view. Three, indeed. And although they were leading on the road, 24, Thurkle is third because it's number 56 who is currently top of the timing charts, and that's Marvin Vermeulen and Troy Clinker. But Greg Lambert has just gone to the front now with Andrew Haynes, outfit number 69, 71.233 miles per hour ahead of outfit 56. Vermeulen, 68.701. There's number 21. Sep Noel and Kobe de Hook, the newcomers. They've slotted into fifth of the five machines through. Opening time lap for them, the newcomers, of 66.999 miles per hour. So third place, it's Andy Nourish and Rob Child. They're at 68.158. Thurkle and Morley, number 24, are fourth at 67.543. Then it's 21, then 11, Danny Quirk and Sharon Reeves. They're in sixth position. Seventh is number 51, and that is Cobus Booman and Nikolai Clinker. Eighth, we've got number 67, that is Alan Warner and Tom Dawkins, the pairing from Peel and Biggin Hill. Ninth is number 29, Adam Pope and John Christopher. 10th, we have number 66, that is Albert Crowell and Elisa Pils. 11th position is number 30, so he has got that time in. 30, well, he won't get a time in as yet because they started a little bit further back, of course. Number 30 being, of course, Kenny Howells and Rob Copark. As they speak, they just crossed the line and slot into sixth. Let's go back to Cross Four Ways and Rob.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how many more laps we do manage to get out here in this session, with the light continuing to fade as well. But more machines making their way towards us. Second qualifying lap here. Looking close in the timings just at the moment. First out on the road is number 24 outfit of Thurkle and Morley. They've actually opened up just a little bit more of a gap on the road to number 46, Nourish and Child as well. Coming up number 56 now, Marvin Vermeulen. Number 69, Greg Lambert and Andrew Haynes as well. So they were the pace setters from that previous lap. But just to note there that Thurkle and Morley just managing to open up a little bit of a gap, starting to open the taps maybe at the front of the pack there. They just pulled out a little bit of a gap from Andy Nourish and Rob Child just in behind them on the road on the Westlake as well. So maybe just upping the pace a little bit are the team first out on the road. Number 21 is next through cross four ways. Sep Noel and Kobe de Hock. And yet again here, no traffic around them at the moment, so they can just focus on getting themselves around the Billown circuit nice and smoothly. And then there's a big gap to the field in behind as well. So there's plenty of machines that we've had through. So just a reminder that leading on the road is Tony Thurkel and William Morley, just ahead of Andy Nourish and Rob Child. And then number 69, Greg Lambert and Andrew Haynes are in there, as are Marvin Vermeulen and Troy Clinker. Number 11, Danny Quirk and Sharon Reeves as well. They've got plenty of the Billown course to themselves just at the moment as well. So Quirk and Reeves on the exit across four ways. You can hear them in the background as well, roaring towards Church Bends. So now the wait will be on to see if any of those crews out towards the front of the order can improve their times on the latter stages of this lap. They'll be heading through the likes of Church Bends and onto the stadium and into the line of Tim Glover.
And the checkered flag is now out as 24 Tony Thurkel and William Morley cross the line ahead of 46 Andy Nourish and Rob Child at Lambert, and he's just they're not going quicker apart from Thurkel and Morley on that last lap. Times are definitely down, and the rain is definitely a lot heavier. And I think the checkered flag may have just come out a little bit ahead of schedule there. So it is Greg Lambert and Andrew Haynes, the pair from Scotland Hull. They are number 69, quickest on lap 2 at 71.233 miles per hour. Number 21, second, that's Sep Noel and Kobe de Hook. The newcomers going really well at 68.707 miles per hour. And currently in third is 56, and that is Marvin Vermeulen and Troy Clinker. 68.701. Fourth, number 46, Andy Nourish and Rob Child on the Nourish Westlake. Their time and speed at 68.158 miles per hour. Then it's 24, Tony Thurkel and William Morley. They are quickest on lap 3, the last lap at 67.788 miles per hour. And sixth place is number 11, and that is Danny Quirk and Sharon Reeves. So the Halifax and Chesterfield combination, and their quickest was on lap 3 as well, 67.304 miles per hour. Another machine comes into view. I say comes into view, emerges out the dark looking up to School Hill Rise, and they have gone up into second place with a quicker lap there. That is number 30. We had all that trouble at the start there. Kenny Howells and Rob Koppak. The pair from Crookley and Runcorn, but they are second on the leaderboard after that third lap at 69.880 miles per hour. So it came good for them in the end. Well, don't forget, roads remain closed until the roads open car has gone past. A reminder that the roads close twice tomorrow, in the afternoon and the evening. The afternoon session is at 12:30. Roads will close until no later than 4:30. They will then reopen, but close again for the evening racing session at 6 o'clock through until 9 o'clock. 67, Alan Warner just safely through as well. And there's 66 also finishing as well. So those are the times tomorrow. We'll be back bringing you all the afternoon coverage and indeed the evening racing, which could indeed be a wet affair, unfortunately, as the weather forecast stands at the moment. But we are hopeful of some drier conditions tomorrow. So thank you to Chris Kinley. Thank you to Rob Pritchard. Thank you to the rest of the team. And with that, we'll wrap up a very damp evening down here at Billown and the Southern 100 at the Blackford Financial Services pre-TT Classic Road Race meeting for 2025, and we'll head back to Broadcasting House.
Manx Radio Motorsport, brought to you by Kawasaki Insurance.